The Boston Celtics are back at it again, fellas. Obviously, last year they won a championship. This past year they had back-to-back aspirations, and they came up short against the New York Knicks. And on top of that, to add insult to injury, or injury to insult, Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. So we knew that they were going to make moves. We just didn't know what it was going to be. Until last night, the first domino fell, and it was Jrue Holiday getting shipped back to the Blazers. Full circle moment for Jrue, if you will. But they traded Jrue Holiday for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. Fellas, talk to me about what this means for Boston. Are they rebuilding or just retooling? And what this means for the Blazers and Jrue Holiday as well.
I think a lot of times Go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think a lot. I think a lot.
All right, you know what, Mars, you just go.
No, we good. So I think a lot of times what we forget is that basketball is business, and like you can't talk basketball if you don't know the business side and the money side of it. You can't talk basketball. And a lot of times, a lot of these people, they think that this is just video game stuff where you can just throw guys on crews and like the money doesn't matter. The Boston Celtics, for all intents and purposes, this season are in a transition year. They lost their best player. They're trying to shed some money. So to come off of $40 million in taxes, to be able to save that, and to be able to come off a salary of Jrue Holiday, who at 38 years old, he's going to be looking at $37 million, which he 100% is exercising. Just like Middleton exercised his $33 million contract in Washington. He's not leaving that money on the table. Jrue Holiday was going to do the same thing if he had been there for that long. So for the Celtics to save $40 million and to also get an expiring contract with Anfernee Simons, who after this season is going to free up some money. Now, I think he's going to be good for them, if I'm being honest with you. You get a bucket getter on the wing, not very good as a defender, but I feel like you got guys on the wing who can protect him in Jaylen Brown and Derek White. I think that that's good for him. And when they go cold in terms of scoring at the long ball line, he's one of those guys who can get to the rim. They were at the bottom of the league this season at scoring at the rim. He's one of those guys who can get to the rim. He's one of the better one-on-one players in the game. I watched a couple of Trailblazers games, and I liked him in stretches. But I think the biggest thing here is them being able to get off this money after this season and be able to sign somebody in the offseason of next year. Maybe not for as high of a price, but to be able to save some money and be able to go after somebody in free agency next year. Because I don't think that they're holding on to Simons.
You don't think so?
I think all around this trade is like, I would want to see what Boston does to really figure out what they're going to do with Anfernee Simons. Are they going to use him as a building block? Is this somebody that's going to be an expiring contract? This is something I've been saying for a while now with the Celtics. They can't just rely on Jason Tatum as a ball handler. We've said this multiple times, and I said going into this offseason, one of their key needs were to bring in another ball handler, and I think they did that with Anfernee Simons. This is a guy that shot 37% from 3 on 10 attempts a game, gives you about 17 to 18 points per game, really good offensively. I think he can really step in offensively and be a positive. But Chill, I think you overstated his defense. He is one of the worst defenders in the league. It's bad.
He's bad. I want to make sure that I'm clear on now. He's not a defender at all. But I think that we've seen guys who aren't good defenders that are able to be protected in stretches by good defenders, like, for example, Derek White, like, for example, Jaylen Brown. I think Coach Mazzulla is going to put him in space. I wouldn't be surprised if when he was in the game, they played a lot of zone, and he played a lot of matchup zone, which looks like man-to-man, but it's matchup, just off the strength of protecting him. And just having him just be able to just to guard a specific area. You don't necessarily have to guard like Jrue Holiday, because again, I'm losing Jrue Holiday and I'm losing a defender like that. But if you can guard this specific space and hold your own in this specific space for a period of time, I think they'll be fine.
I think this is one of the reasons why I don't know where they go, or I wouldn't grade the trade just yet, because you don't know what else they're going to do. Like, they're in a position where they want to retool and they want to be back when Jason Tatum returns with a better squad and another chance to get a championship. So to me, it depends on what they do around Anfernee. Are they going to go a more offensive slanted lineup? Are they going to take away some of the spacing? So now you would like to bring in an extra ball handler that can distribute and make plays for others. Because again, in my opinion, one of the reasons Jaylen Brown was able to be the offensive player that a lot of people look at him as is because of the spacing around him. Take Kristaps Porzingis out of that equation, or now Horford, and replace that with a rim protecting big who can't space the floor past 10 to 12 feet. How does Jaylen Brown look? How does the ball handling look? Is there more space to operate? That's why you go get an Anfernee Simons who can be a plus ball handler. So I wouldn't give it a firm grade until I see what the Celtics do down the line and how they start their season.
So I might be in the minority. I don't think they traded for Anfernee Simons to get off of him. I mean, just think about the pairing for a second. You have Anfernee Simons, who you said he shot 10 threes a game, a guy who loves to shoot threes and get them up. Well, who's he going to play for?
Celtic team that's all they do is shoot the long ball.
Now, obviously, he has his defensive flaws, and every player has their flaws. But this is a match made in heaven. Joe Mazzulla getting a 26-year-old young gun who he could still shape and mold, who hasn't yet played for a winning organization, but you can learn how to win when you play around other winners. And ultimately, on top of that, I want to get up threes. I
can get with that logic, Ron.
Something in the future that he wants to keep.
To your point, Ron, it's almost 9 threes a game. So right around 9 threes a game. But we are in a space where Anfernee Simons, he's been in the league, 7 years? There's a lot of bad habits that, we gotta break. Mm-hmm. Not only are these a lot of bad habits we got to break, we got to break them quick, because this is a gap year right now. Like, I see the Celtics getting right back to it when Jason Tatum gets back.
Sure, I don't even think it's a gap year. I think them making this trade lets you know that they're not trying to just tank next year.
No, I'm not going to say tank, Ron.
I don't think Anfernee Simons is Jason Tatum. Like, we all know that, but I mean, you add a guy, a player that's this explosive and this good, that can go for 30 on any given night. Also is a pretty solid playmaker too. Very athletic. I don't think they have no plans in trying not to compete next year.
Anfernee Simons is really good at basketball. So
he is, Ox. Yes, he is.
I think the Celtics are fine holding on to him. I don't think this is a guy that you need to be trying to trade or anything like that. I think he can come in and fill that position and be a good leader, whatever they need him to be over there.
Mars, thoughts?
It's a cool trade. I remember maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I said, I think, because we was talking about Jrue Holiday's value, I said I wouldn't be surprised if a team that thought they were relatively close to competing and being a playoff team or going further looked at Jrue and thought he was the missing piece. I put Detroit out there. I thought Detroit would be a team that think they need a point guard like Jrue Holiday, but turns out that team was the Blazers, who I think they're probably closer than I think the rest of the league thinks they are. I think they're probably looking at Jrue as someone who can help them be that playoff play-in team next year. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I think that's what they're looking at.
In that scenario, Mars, how would that look though? How would Jrue be able to get them over the hump?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead. Finish. I just wanted to Go ahead.
I think the plan, I guess, is to push on from the defense that they showed the second half of the season, where with Tamani, with Klingon, with Denny, they were one of the best defenses in the NBA. Tamani obviously made all defense. Congratulations to him. And then you added Jrue Holiday, who, despite a regression, is still capable of being one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. And his defensive IQ is through the roof. Mm-hmm. And when you have a guy like Scoot, who I think has shown a lot of growth defensively, having a guy like Jrue Holiday, who you can learn from similar mold in terms of body type, I think you look at that and like, okay, Jrue can teach him tricks of the trade, how to use your body more effectively, how to defend without fouling, all of those things, while also being able to impact the game being a floor spacer, being someone who can defend at a high level, being someone who has experience, as many people here will allude to that being how important it is. I think they're looking at like we're a team that just missed the play-in. I don't know how many games shy of the play-in they were. 4 games shy of the play-in, made a really good late season surge. I think they went 500 in 2025.
They were at one point, Miles, they were 2 out of the play-in at one point.
Yeah, so like the Blazers, I think, are probably a better team than I think people give them credit for. I don't blame people for not watching Portland games. Like, you don't have to. But I think they probably think Jrue has probably pushed them into that play-in, playoff range. And I think that's cool. And then for Boston, they need offense. Anfernee Simons provides offense. Sure. Anfernee Simons is an expiring contract, unlike Jrue, who's, 3 more years or something?
Play out 2 more years on the playoff after 2.
Yeah, and I think they save a lot of money in this contract, and we know what the second apron does to you in terms of the tax bill. So I think it was a financial move, but also a move that made sense for them in the short term in terms of what they need next season. Does Anfernee Simons stay around long term? I don't know. If he plays really well, I doubt Boston are going to pay crazy money to keep him. Since I think they made this trade to save money, it wouldn't make sense to just give that money to Anfernee Simons. But for next year, I think he helps them get into the playoffs. And we'll see what he does from there. But I think this was a money-saving move from Boston. And I think it was a move that Portland made because they feel they're closer than I think the rest of the league or fans think they were.
Mars, I think I'm in the minority. I was gonna, even before, like when we did this over the summer and last summer when we talked about, and your eyes got basically fish big when I told you that I think Houston is a top 5 seed next year in the playoffs. Like this summer, even before they did the Jrue Holiday trade, I had the Trailblazers making the playoffs next season. I don't think they're Detroit good. I'm not going to go that far and say that they're an outright playoff team, but I thought going into this summer, I like what they're doing in Detroit. And I think that the business model in terms of how they're constructing that unit is very much like what the game is today. Like a lot of people talk about how the long ball is so prevalent. Well, you know what else is prevalent? Teams playing defense. And the way that this Portland team is constructed, Scoot got better on defense. They got an all-league defender in Kamari, right? Klingen's going to be an all-league defender. They still got to shed some. They still got to shed some dead weight, I think, with Grant. I think they still have to do that. But Sharp, I think, is going to turn into something special this offseason. I think this season was one of the few seasons that we've seen where he's been healthy. I think this team before they make this deal, I think they're a 7-8 seed, and I think that they can play their way into the playoffs before this. I think they're a playoff team this year, going into the 25-26 season. I do.
Right quick, John, chill. I'm going to ask you the question that you'll always ask me. So the Blazers were 36-46 last year.
Yes, sir.
How many more games do they win this year?
I think at minimum they could be 500. At minimum, they could be. I think that they could be a 500 team. And Ron, you know how I feel about Scoot.
500 gets them the 9th seed this year.
Right. So that's still a play-in team, and I think they could very well play they could very well play their way into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, Ron, you know how I feel about Scoot Henderson. I think that he's developing at the rate that they need him to develop. I think we get wrapped up a lot of times in guards, and this is for the masses too. They're at fault of this because Mars and I had this conversation. When you come in with the comparison to Russell Westbrook, that's what they expect when he's not that. From an athlete standpoint, from a get downhill standpoint, he's none of those things. However, I think he's at his best, and I've said this to you already. I think at his best, I think he's a 19-8 guy on above average efficiency with the guys that they already have, Kamara, Sharp, Klingen, and them being as good as they are defensively, and with their rotation guys. I think this Portland team is going to be a lot of trouble in the Western Conference. I think they can give Sacramento a run for their money. I think they give teams like that a run for their money when we talking about between 7 and 10.
I think Denny Avdia may have some action as an all-star next year. I mean, if you
in the
look
West,
at
John, word,
yeah, chill. Last year, post All-Star break, he was giving you 23, 10, and 5 on 64% true shooting.
That's an all-star.
Six 3-pointers a game on like 40% from 3. One of the best transition players in the league, one of the best drivers in the league, 14.5 drives per game, shooting 54% from the field. Like, that's an all-star. Playmaking.
You told me about him, Mars. You told me about him when
Danny
he was in
Avdija is really
Washington,
good.
and it went in one ear and out the other. I was not paying any attention to Washington like that until they got Alex Sarr. I was paying more attention to him. Yes,
he's still young too. He's only 24. He's
Denny is
got,
going to be really good, man.
He got room for potential growth.
10-5.
And Drew's not going to do nothing. Like he's the type of guy, and he got the type of game where Jrue Holiday is actually going to allow him to flourish with just getting more steals. Like the way he, as
Jrue
fast
Holiday's
as he is,
a great cutter.
And the way he runs the lanes and fills the lanes, with Jrue Holiday getting tips and steals, kicking it out to him, he gonna be nice with Jrue. Him and Jrue, I like that. But Mars, you made a point, and I wasn't even considering this honestly. I thought this was like similar to how when Jrue went to the Blazers, when the Bucks traded him there, I thought they were just getting Jrue to flip him. But you made an interesting point. Like Portland is on the brink of maybe a couple moves or a couple of their guys getting better, or just building more chemistry and being around each other for another year. They might have some action and making some noise and getting into the playoffs. I didn't even consider that. That wasn't even in the realm of possibility for me.
They might flip him. I'm not saying that. Like if I was Portland, I mean, maybe you look at what I wouldn't buy him out. I'll say that. Like with the money Jeremy Grant's making, I don't think buying out Jrue Holiday makes any sense. But I do think that if you can look and see what the value is, maybe there is like a team that's willing to give you a young player. I don't know what that looks like. Like maybe it's a sign and trade Jonathan Kuminga type thing. Like I'm throwing something out there. I'm not saying I know what it is.
Golden State.
Like maybe that's what it is. Maybe Golden State come calling and they're like, okay, we want to have Jrue, Steph, Jimmy, and then Draymond and whatever. And then they say Jonathan Kuminga sign and trade, and you're like, oh, okay, we'll do that. But I do think that if Portland do keep Jrue, I do think that helps them. Now, being a playoff team in the West, I don't know. I think there's only two teams that are probably not trying to win in the West next year, and that's New Orleans and Utah. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure, is trying to win.
Utah again, Mars?
Garbage.
They're just
Ox,
not ready.
What's the plan, Ox? What are they doing in Utah? Like Portland got a plan. It's clear.
I know.
I mean, I didn't mean to go trade. Yeah, no, you're good. On Utah, I do think like we're at a point where you can't just keep tanking during Larry Markkanen's max contract forever. Like at some point, you either move him or you start trying to win.
What we doing?
But anyway, so outside of them, I think everyone in the West, like Phoenix, are trying to win because they have no other choice. San Antonio, I think you're at a point where you got a healthy Wemby. You got to win, in my opinion. Not because like you're wasting Wemby's prime, but like De'Aaron, Wemby, this number 2 pick, etc. I think they're going to be trying to compete. Portland, I think we're trying to compete this year. Now it's just adding on to that. Who else is in the West? Dallas, obviously, they're trying to compete. The Kings are trying to compete. Memphis, they just got KCP in them with a healthy jaw in theory. Golden State, obviously, trying to compete. And then everyone else, like, it goes without saying they're trying to compete. So, like, we're looking at a team, 13 teams in the West that think they have action at making the playoffs. That means 5 of them have to miss it. Like, they have to, just by how the standings work. And 3 of those teams have to miss the play-in. So Portland could well improve this year and then still be the 11 or 12 seed. And like, I don't know if they're going to deem that a success or not. But like, the West is just so stacked that it's hard to project who's going to be where. But I think Jrue helps their chances of making the play-in, along with obviously internal development. You need Tamani to get better offensively. You need Scoot to get better all around. You need Shaden to improve his consistency as an outside shooter and become probably their go-to scorer. You need to find some way to get Jeremy Grant off the team. I don't even know if that's possible, but you got to find some way. Maybe you can move DeAndre Ayton, not because DeAndre Ayton sucks, but because does he fit the timeline? Are you going to extend him after this season? I don't know. But yeah, I think Portland's in a good spot.
Remember too, Mars. We've seen this movie before. Jrue Holiday was up in Portland, and they were able to extract Robert Williams, right? Robert Williams for him.
Malcolm Brogdon too.
Yes, Malcolm Brogdon for him. Now, if they don't decide to hold on to him, does Pat Riley revisit Portland and go, "Hey, how y'all feeling about Jrue Holiday? What would it take to?"
Then Portland will ask for Haywood Highsmith and he'll hang up the phone. So
see, that's what I'm talking about, Mark. Like I'm serious. This is what I mean. Because I I see this is, and they would do that too. 100% he would do that. Like, how about Haywood Highsmith and Duncan Robinson and 2 twos and goodbye? No,
Pat. No, y'all cut it out. Pat's making that move.
That's
Man. Come on.
Okay,
but my thing.
Really quick, and I want you to stay on that point, really quick. To ask for Damian Lillard, you're not serious when you say Tyler Hero ain't on the table. You're not.
Bam,
you're not serious.
No, that's serious. I don't want to. But look, Bam. It was. I think they wanted Bam. Portland really wanted Bam. And Bam was off the table. And I respect that. I'm not giving you Bam for Dame. That would have been a bad move.
Right.
Haywood Highsmith for KD a bad move?
Come on, run that.
It wasn't made. It was Khalil Ware and everything else involved. I'm not mad at that. I'm not giving up my future for a season and a half of Kevin Durant. I'm not doing it. But I'm also not giving up Tyler Hero and Bam for Dame. My thing is, first of all, Mars, you ruined this for me. Because I had my mind set on Jrue to Dallas, but then you come with some really good points on why Portland might want to hang on to Jrue. But chill, last time when Jrue came through, Jrue didn't even touch down to Portland. It wasn't even a layover. He didn't even land in PDX. You know what I'm saying? It was just you're not. I think he knew he wasn't suiting up. So I think that'll be figured out. Sooner than later. With the whole entire contract things, I'm not exactly sure what's allowed as far as trades, like how fast you can move a guy, what you can move a guy for, and whatnot. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens and kind of just listening to y'all about what the rules are. But I'm still thinking about it, and I don't think Jrue pushes Portland over the edge though. Like Denny, I'm with you, John. But Denny's one of those dudes that I had to go see in person. You know what I mean? To realize because like I talk about a lot. I don't think people realize when you're watching on TV, like some of the things that you see. So I had to go check Denny out in person a couple of times. And dude is huge. Like he's big.
How big is he legit, Ox?
So he's big. He's for sure 6'7", 6'8". Like he's big.
I didn't know he was that.
And but he's like thick though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like a skinny.
He ain't a lean 6'7" or 6'8".
Nah, I will call him 6'7" just to be fair, just to be sure. But he's fast too. He's big. He's fast. You know what I mean? He's got good feet. Then he's really good. I just don't know if Jrue's the piece that'll put them over the top. You know what I mean? So if they do keep Jrue, I think to Mars's point, you'd have to move off of Jeremy Grant. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even DeAndre Ayton just to get some more pieces in there. I just don't. And I would hate to see Jrue because Jrue's 34, 35.
Could be 35 this season.
Yeah, I would hate to see Jrue waste time in Portland. And I think that's what it would be. And Drink More Water said he's more like 6'9". That's possible. Then he's big. He's
really I was gonna say he's closer to 6'9" than 6'7".
Yeah, he's big. And
I'm thinking Danny.
I was trying to find his height. He's listed at 6'8" 3/4".
Yes, he's that's what I'm saying, Chill. He's fat and his feet are moving, Chill. He's fast, bro. He's getting up there.
He does have a negative wingspan though. So
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
6'8.5" wingspan. So practically neutral, but slightly negative.
Yeah, he got short arms, but he's still really good.
Speaking of wingspans, really, I don't want to sidetrack us, but this kid, who is this kid, John D. Coward? He got like a 7'5" wingspan. What the?
Let me.
Cedric
Coward. Yeah. His measurements are very positive. Let me just make sure. But yeah,
7'5".
You don't got the whole draft board over there to your left with all the prospects.
You don't know.
But come on. Like Ron, you got to understand.
You act like you got
I've been doing this all year. I've been doing this all year.
In the whole
he logged in. He's gonna type Cedric Coward. It's gonna show his measurements. It's gonna show what he averaged in high school. EYBL. It's gonna show everything.
It's gonna kick out Bill Walton facts, where his mom was born and raised.
For sure.
But his measurements do look really good from an eye test standpoint, especially when it comes to the defensive end, and how he's able to cut off guys' driving lanes. From what I'm looking at,
7'5" sounds crazy. I'm
gonna make sure I got the right guy because I was
7 foot sounds more reasonable. 7'5" sounds crazy.
I want to make sure that
Sure, that's him though. It sounds about right. I don't know if it's 7'5" or 7 foot, but I do know
somebody that I was reading this morning. I think it was Coward, one of the draft prospects. Still got a 7'5" wingspan, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I think he should have went back to school, but at the same time, and Ox has always made this point for as long as I've known him.
7-2 and a quarter.
7-2. Okay, yeah, 7-2 makes more sense.
There's one of these.
He got that
there's one-
Tyrese and J-Dub wingspan. That's what
There's
he
one of these
And,
dudes.
and he's shorter than him
dudes
too.
that got a 7'5"
I think he's what
wingspan.
6'5".
Yeah, he's taller than J-Dub.
Yeah, he's
Is he?
6'6".
Yeah,
6'5",
J-Dub's like
6'6".
6'5". Tyrese is 6'7". But
Yeah, there's one of these dudes that got.
But like, Ox always made a good point with guys like Cedric Howard. If you not one of those prospects where before the year you were, a 5-star recruit and all of this, if you play your way into lottery talks,
Yeah,
you better take your ass in that draft.
You get up out of there.
Because he
what I'm
might
saying.
come back next year and he is signed to go to Duke. He might come back next year and they might be like, you good. But it's just a lot of potential. You're not really all of that good. Yeah, you got a good wingspan and you're pretty athletic, but you still have things you got to work on.
He's really he's really made himself into like being a considered top 20 by only playing like 6 games. And it's like
crazy.
It's the measurements, it's the connective ability, and it's the process. Like I was asked, like, how are you able to assess a prospect or just like analyze a prospect when they haven't played as much? It's the process. It's just, if Cedric Howard goes 0 for 9 in a game, but he takes smart shots consistently, he's rebounding, he's playing passing lanes, you look at his attitude off rebounds, things of that nature. That's more of an assessment than him having a hot streak and going like 9 for 12. I would rather to see how he's getting the shots, how he's relocating off the ball, how he's cutting, how he's playing defense, rather than him just hitting 7 pull-up threes. Because it's like, what am I going to do with that? Like, I know
you make 7 pull-up threes. I don't know.
I mean, it's intriguing, but it's like, if Colin Murray Boyles does that, I don't know.
I feel it.
All right, y'all. Well, I do want to talk about this because obviously Jrue is the hot topic of the day. And Ox, you alluded to him not wasting any time because obviously his age. Well, let's also remember the success that Jrue has had over these last 4 or 5 years. He's one of 3 players to win 2 championships since 2020. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this, but if you haven't, these 3 3-and-D guards have been very successful since 2020.
2 of them were Lakers.
Yeah, I was thinking about this last night. Jrue's more than just a 3-and-D guard, though.
All of them are more than 3-and-D. Caruso's the closest to it.
I don't even think Caruso's necessarily a 3-and-D.
I don't think he's a 3-and-D, but he's the closest to a 3-and-D guy. Jrue's just not, but everyone else.
Jrue's just so much more.
He does way more than just 3-and-D. Yes,
but they're all amazing. It makes sense that they're the ones
who plays on the box. Jrue plays in the mid-range. Jrue gets downhill. We already know how versatile he is as a defender. He doesn't just shoot the long ball. Yeah, he's much more than a 3-and-D guy. Way more than that.
And I'm happy this graphic. I'm happy you put this up, bro. I'm happy that this graphic was made because, like I said, I was actually thinking about this last night because I know it's what we were gonna get into, like the last what was it, last 9 or last 7 champions, whatever. Last 7 champions. I knew we was gonna talk about that. And Jrue Holiday and Alex Caruso came into my mind, and I remembered KFC was on that Lakers team too. And so it just like I was thinking about that. And I was trying to think if there's anybody else, but I couldn't think of anybody. And I just started, and Chill, I know that you really, like, you use Jrue Holiday as the example for this all the time. And it's just guys like these 3 right here that just play winning basketball. I don't know. It's specifically Jrue and AC. Like, I just love these 2 guys as basketball players. I'm in, KFC as well. He's good too, but I don't think he's on these 2 guys' level. But I don't know. It's just there's just so much to be said about these guys as basketball players.
Jrue Holiday is the quarterback. Jrue Holiday is the quarterback.
It doesn't always show up on the stat sheet.
My fault.
No, I was just wanting to say that it just doesn't always show up on the stat sheet how important these guys are.
Ron, I feel like Jrue Holiday is that quarterback that you close to winning it, and you bring this quarterback in. He ain't. Mm-hmm. He's not Joe Montana. He's not Tom Brady, but
he's Matt Stafford.
He's the difference. He's the guy that you bring in, and he's the guy that's going to get us over the top. That's exactly who he is. That's a great example. Matt Stafford. He's in that space. He's not going to do anything to kill you, but he's going to do a lot more to help you than to kill you. And I feel like Jrue Holiday, he's been the difference on these, like that Milwaukee team. They upgraded at the lead guard spot. And to Eric Black.
I think Matt Stafford's a little more than that. Shit.
Oh my God, we're not about to do this right now with Matt Stafford. Please, come on.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right.
I don't want to get you started.
No, it's not my fault. Megatron sold Matt Stafford. All right.
Hey, Mars, Matt Stafford is the quarterbacks who you believe that De'Aaron Fox is. It's like you good, but you're not.
Okay, Stafford is really good.
I didn't say that about De'Aaron.
You're good, but you're not them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that.
Yes.
But back to Jrue Holiday though.
Chat saying you capping, by the way, but
right.
Top 10 QB in the league.
We can't be bothered with Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it slide because I wouldn't know any better. Chat saying,
but
Matt, look.
Wait. You heard
Mars.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Megatron did Matt Stafford. How?
The way KD did Russ?
No. How Stephon Marbury did Kevin Garnett. Left him in Detroit.
Only Megatron I know is from Transformers.
Actually flip it around.
Calvin, hey, think of a what was he like 6'4", 6'5",
6'5" legit.
behemoth.
Yeah, 6'5".
Throw the ball up. It don't matter where it goes. He's coming down.
Calvin Johnson.
Johnson. Mars. This is your first time. Everybody has a first time. Sitting down and watching Megatron. This is an experience. I want you to get this snacks.
In this first time.
I want you to
he was winning. They changed the rules for him.
But Mars, like, don't rush it. Don't be scared. Sit down and embrace this first time.
They changed touchdown.
I'm gonna go watch.
Yes.
I know. A lot of our first times we rush it. You know what I'm saying? We be nervous. We think we know what we're doing. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? But like this one, Mars, embrace it. Sit down. Be calm. Nothing to be scared of. This is you're gonna love to watch this.
I'm telling you, Mars. Hey, it's a long off season. I will send you some highlight tapes. Yeah, let's get
Mars into football.
That's not
the 2000 Ravens. Watch that defense. Watch that.
I can assure you that's not gonna happen.
All in all, we're
gonna get a headache.
All in all, we're talking about Megatron. We're talking about the Ravens defense, and we're talking about greats. And the point I'm mentioning is, and De'Aaron Fox too. The point I'm mentioning is Matt Stafford doesn't compare to none of these names that was brought up. He's not even in that
Matt Stafford, Ron.
I don't want to get off track. Jrue Holiday is the difference when you're trying to win it. He's the guy that you bring in that'll push you over the top, and that's what he's done. And to be honest with you, Ox, I don't mind him in Portland. And the reason why I don't mind him in Portland is because I feel like, unlike Utah, they actually do have a plan up there. They have an idea of what they're trying to do. And the model for them is playing defense, playing faster. This kid, Denny Avdia, who I have watched a couple of Trailblazers games. I watched him play Utah last season. I watched him play Toronto last season. I haven't seen Denny Avdia up close, and he doesn't look that big. I didn't realize that he was that big. I was thinking like 6'5", 6'6", and that's probably and the reason why is it's probably because I had heard him being compared to Josh Hart. That's why. So I didn't realize that he was that big. He definitely is a better defender. He definitely is a better defender than Josh Hart. 100%. No doubt.
Go check him out in down there where you at, or Orlando or something if you get a chance this year.
When he come down here, I'll next time the Trailblazers come down here, I'll head to South Beach and see if I can.
He absolutely destroyed us this year. Had me and my son pissed at the game.
But chill though. What you said about Jrue, how he's the difference maker, similar to like Caruso this year. How OKC was good, but Caruso made him just that much even better.
Yep.
How Jrue did that for Milwaukee, how he just did that for Boston. That's particularly why I believe that he's not going to stay in Portland. I think one of these teams that want to contend are going to offer Portland just a deal they can't refuse. And it's just so many teams that are on the brink of competing that Jrue will make so much better. You see, the Houston Rockets just went and got KD. Imagine them with Jrue. The Lakers, the Nuggets, and these are just Western Conference teams. Even the Timberwolves, We just mentioned the Warriors. Those are just a few contending Western Conference teams. I'm gonna stay out the East. I'm just with them. Jrue makes all of them instantly better.
I think that they have to come up with a deal because, again, I think Portland is on to something, and I do think that they need some guidance at the league guard spot. And I don't think that there's anybody, with the exception of Chris Paul, that's better at showing Scoot in terms of being a professional and in terms of being a better point guard to go against in practice every day and to show him how to be a better league guard. I mean, in terms of a backup, I don't think that there's a better one. I don't think that it's not like Jrue Holiday is coming up there to back him up. I don't think that. He's not coming up there to sit on the bench. I'm not going that far. But I feel like with him on that crew, he just makes Scoot so much better than what Scoot would have originally been before this whole summer thing when I had them making the playoffs. So, and I still think he's got some good years left. I think he's got another year or two left where he could still be really good. I think that's why Portland holds on to him. And by the way, Ox, Portland ain't, if they do end up handing him over, they ain't handing him over for a bucket of extra crispy and a six-pack neither. Let's be clear about that right now. No, that's not happening.
Probably a young. It's probably like a younger player that can go. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly, but I hope he doesn't stick around in Portland. Although I'm a huge fan of Jrue Holiday and I love to be able to catch him, but for Drew's sake, I hope he goes and chases a third ring.
I don't hate that because I know for a fact we're talking about Jrue Holiday different if he end up on another crew and he end up winning the NBA championship. 3 NBA championships, 6-time All-League defender.
Chill, and especially the fact that everybody up here knows he was the clear difference maker in that. It's definitely in that Milwaukee ring, and he was a difference maker in that Celtics ring as well.
Yes, sir.
You also, this is what the Blazers got back in return for Jrue Holiday when they sent him to Boston last year. They got Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, 2024 first-round pick that's unprotected, and a unprotected 2029 first-round pick. Who was this 2024 pick? Who'd that turn out to be?
Let's find out. You find out right now.
Oh, look, yeah.
All in all, was this worth it for Boston?
They got
I think it was the kid from
the pick they ended up trading to Washington. Is that what it was?
So I got him, didn't he?
That's what I was thinking.
So Robert Williams, Denny, in a 2029 unprotected first.
I guess, yeah.
That's not bad.
And let's see what they can get for him this time, man. Jrue gonna mess around and end up getting his jersey retired in Portland. He keep feeding him like this.
Okay.
How do y'all feel about this trade? Looking back on it, though, was it? It seems pretty even to me. Seems like both teams got what they wanted out of the deal.
Yeah,
it was Bub Mars
who they
traded the Trailblazers to the Celtics for Brogdon, Robert Williams, and a 2024 first-round pick, which was Bub.
And then they moved Brogdon and Bub for Denny. So
did they picked Bub or Washington used
Washington used the pick to pick Bub.
They probably made the call, hey, pick Bub and then we'll do the trade. That's probably what they did.
But
yeah, so I'm online. Robert Williams and Denny, pretty much, plus a 2029 first-round pick for Jrue Holiday. Good deal for both teams?
I'll do it. Yes, 100% I'm doing it.
All right, fellas. Well, we got a couple super chats, so let's go ahead and dive into these. Salute to everybody that's in here. Turn your notification bells, subscribe, become a member, and keep sending through super chats. DSG Piccolo, obviously our resident Portland Trailblazer fan in the chat. He's spoken on the matter, and this is what he has to say. Wanted Ant gone, but I'm confused as to why we had to give up any picks to take on Jrue's terrible contract. Cronin, please explain. Wanted CP3 as a vet, but as a vet PG, but Jrue should help with the defense.
I don't know. They're 2 second-round picks. I don't care that much, but I don't know why they had to give up picks, to be honest. But it's a good trade, nonetheless, in my opinion.
All right. Simon718 said, my only knock on Simons is just how bad he is defensively. like he's shockingly bad at every level defensively. Still a great pickup for the Celtics. Getting off that money is huge too.
Shockingly bad. Is he as bad as Trae Young?
He's worse. But like he's not. I think he's improved. He's not the worst defender in the league anymore. He's like bottom 3.
So he just sucks less. So he's not. He hasn't really improved. He just sucks less.
He went from the worst defender in the league to bottom 3, bottom 5. So it's progress.
That's awful. At least he's got some guys to protect him, though.
It's not the worst anymore. So you can't say they have the worst defender in the league. So
he's got some guys to protect him.
That's
you ain't the ugliest chick now. You're the third ugliest.
Yeah.
Still ugly.
But
besides as hell, Ron. Went to the face with a cast iron frying pan.
Tough Bradley sent through a members chat and said, who are the best players at getting stocks, but was bad defensively? Give me Anthony Randolph and Miles Turner.
I can't think of this off the top of my head. I would have to like really sit down and think about that.
Getting stocks.
Had some people in my mention saying Robert Covington was one of them, and I vehemently disagreed.
Getting stocks or getting stops?
Stops. Steals and blocks. Steals and blocks.
Okay.
Gotcha. Robert Covington was a good defender. So.
I know you guys. You know, I know this is gonna sound crazy to you guys, but you know somebody who was good at getting steals and blocks, but they were awful defensively. Charles Barkley. Barkley was awful defensively. Barkley would come up with a big rim. He would come up with a big block. He would come up with a big steal, not to end the game, but in the big in real pivotal moments in the game. Barkley was definitely one of those guys. But then he'll turn around and blow an assignment and get beat backdoor or get beat one-on-one. But he'll definitely come up with a big play. Yes, Barkley was that.
Jokic was top 5 in steals this year. I think he was top 3 in steals actually. Who else was racked up stocks?
That's interesting.
AI got a lot of steals. He wasn't good on defense.
Allen Iverson said that he wasn't a good defender. He said that. He's on record saying that he wasn't a good defender. And he said that those guys protected him a lot more than he gave them credit for.
I don't know. Blocks is harder. It's hard to like stat pad blocks and not be a good defender. Yeah, James Harden's another one.
I don't think Whiteside was a good defender. I don't.
Oh,
how about LeBron?
I don't think Whiteside was bad on defense. I think Whiteside's numbers made him appear better than he was.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't call him a bad defender.
I'm just keeping it real.
Be careful, Ox. Be careful. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, man. We all know the answer is Bron, but we're not gonna say anything. We're just gonna move past this.
What, like current Bron, or we saying
just Bron, Mars? Just Bron. We don't got to get into it, man. But...
Wait.
Don't indulge this, John. Don't indulge this, John.
Please, John. Please
don't indulge this, John.
You do this. You do this. You put a little bit too much salt in the pot. You stir it and you just walk away, and everybody just goes up to.
I'm a real chef, John D. I don't got to stand. I don't got to stand in the kitchen. I'll whip. Go do my thing. I'll come back. I know. Let the food cook itself. I don't cook the food.
That shit burns.
The food burns. I just put the ingredients together and the food cooks itself. But so we all know it's LeBron, but we don't got.
James is the dude that's a bad defender, but will come up with a big block and a big steal, even though
he stat padded that block in 2016. A real defender would have got back in front of Iggy and contested vertical, but he wanted a block.
Even though you didn't see him until he actually came into the screen.
Nah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I'm sorry,
hey,
Ron.
chill.
I was 30 feet behind the play.
As fast as his big ass got back into the play, he could have got in front of Iggy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
JR Smith, the one who really played defense. JR going in front of Iggy.
Right.
That gave Bron the opportunity to go snap at his block.
You hold him up until I get there.
I feel Bron though, being a superior athlete the way he is, because I mean, like y'all, you know, like. I mean, the chase down block is just dope. It's dope. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? So Bron to be the class, the level of athlete he is, I think he 100% sometimes let some people dribble past him in the fast break. Like, watch this. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You can do that. Bron can do that.
Oh, no, he's definitely done that. I remember you seen that play was on Ian Clark.
Yeah,
Bron turned the ball over. let Ian Clark pick up the ball, go for a layup just to pin it off the glass. It's like he could have stopped.
Right.
It was
But it has backfired
Christmas Day
on him.
2015. Christmas Day
And
2015.
wait, chill. And it backfires
It
sometimes.
has backfired on him before.
But you know what though? I mean, Ron I'm gonna get
It
off
has.
of the Bron defense.
I've seen him.
They gonna clip that, and I'm gonna get Bron fans in my mentions mad at me because I'm trolled about that chase down block in 16. But that was fun.
Ox, I'm not completely with you, but I see where you're going though.
I don't.
You see who I was gonna say, who racks up a lot of stocks, but they're not really all that awesome on defense. And similar to AI, they just have a lot of help. We just seen it in the NBA Finals.
Shea.
I want to say shit. Average.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not
Come
mad at it.
on.
I think Shea.
Yeah, I get it.
Shea's a solid defender. Don't get me wrong; he's a good defender. I just think over the season, people were starting to overrate his defense just a tad bit. Like there was people saying he's a all defensive level guard. I just don't think he's there. I don't think he's there. There's no way you can look at some of the guards on the all defensive team and say Shea's in that category. I don't agree with that at all. But I still think he's a positive defender though. But
for sure, positive. But yeah, Shea's not a bad one. Someone who gets steals and blocks. Yeah, he's not a bad one.
Shea shocked me in the finals too. Like he'll go up there and get a block. You play around with Shea.
He led the finals in blocks.
Yeah.
Him and Chet.
He ended up passing Chet, or Chet didn't pass him.
No, his 5 tied Shea.
Okay. Shout out Shea, man. It was going up blocking Miles Turner. It was all over the place. But still, though, Mars, like that is a ooh. But it's like Miles. It's no way in hell at 7 foot 6'11", whatever he is, that you're supposed to let Shea meet you at the rim. It's just no way.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell people that Miles Turner, that's that fake. His blocks be fake too, but here's what it is. Shout out to Miles Turner.
Facts. All right, we got a couple more super chats. I got one from B-True23. B-True said, once again, congrats to OKC and Indiana for a good series. 2 teams with bright futures. If you're on the East Coast, stay cool and hydrated. It's hot as hell.
Facts. Staying hydrated right now.
All right, and then DSG Piccolo sent through yet another super chat talking about his Blazers, and he wants to know, y'all, did we get fleeced? Anyway, seems like they are ready to give Scoot the keys, so cool. But if he's not starting game 1, that bald-headed Denver terrorist ass ninja needs to find a new place of employment.
They just extended him. You gonna like Chauncey, or you just gonna have to deal with the fact he there.
Right.
But if he's starting or not, I don't think it matters. I mean, ideally you want his minutes to go up because they went down from year 1 to year 2. But starting or not, I don't think that matters. But I don't even know if Scoot is like the future. Like,
I think he is, Mars. I do.
I think he's a part of the future. I don't think he's the future. But
if you can make Scoot be a viable backup point guard, chill, I think that's good for the squad.
See, that's where we separate Ox, because I don't think he's a backup. I think he's your starting lead guard. I think he's that good and that's where guys like Jrue Holiday, that's where Chauncey Billups comes in, where I can show Jrue I can show Scoot how to play in space. I can show him when to get downhill. I can show him when to utilize his big man, when to score, what spots to get to, when to pass, how to be more efficient as a passer. That's what Chauncey, and I think he's gotten better at that this season as a bucket getter, as a distributor. I think he's gotten much better at that. And I think as time goes on, he's going to get better. That's where the improvement comes in. I think that, and Ox, you and I have been at odds about this. I don't think that we give these guys, especially these young guys in particular, I don't think we give these guys enough credit for their improvement as time goes on. And I think Scoot is one of those guys who, when he first showed up in the league, I think that there's a drastic improvement from when he first showed up in terms of his know-how to today. He looked like he didn't have a clue what he was doing. Like, it might be I think his rookie season, he averaged, 14 a game or something like that? It might have been the emptiest 14 that I've ever seen. I don't think that there was an emptier 14 than that. It was really no production from it. And
Man.
And now I feel like he's a lot more, I think he's smarter today. I think he knows how to navigate screens better with the basketball. I think he's a little bit smarter on defense. And I just feel like as time goes on, you can build around a lead guard like that. And having Jrue Holiday there to help him, in addition to Chauncey Billups, I just think he's going to get better.
Shit, I'm sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that had something to do with the money, the contract situation too. But I'm sure Portland was trying to get Scoot to Boston. Take
him too.
Please take Skeet.
Hey, chill. You know,
Yes, sir.
you use the word empty, right? You've been using the word empty. I'm so sick of hearing empty. Ever since Kevin Durant got traded, now everything's goddamn empty. This empty stats, empty this, empty that, empty.
Look at this KD super fan now. How can we
Hey, Mars, remember he got on me for being a Luka fan? Remember he got on me for being a Luka fan?
What's going on right now?
I didn't say I was a KD. I didn't say I was KD super fan. I'm just saying this empty shit is getting on my damn nerves. How motherfucker averaging 27 a game and it's empty?
I never heard that before. I never heard that
It's
before.
empty.
Nah, I definitely heard about Devin Booker a few years ago when Phoenix was.
Yeah, but
Talked about
it's-
Bradley Beal.
I don't know if it was-
but that ain't empty on his end.
Yeah, so
That's-
Phoenix is
Oh
just
no, I
empty.
agree. I'm just saying I've heard this. This isn't new. I've heard it. I've disagreed every time, but I've heard it.
that shit. But I just feel like, bro, like the audacity of some of these folks to be talking about 27 points a game is empty. Like the audacity of you. Like I don't give a damn if you, especially when it's efficient. I can understand if it was 26% from the field, but brother, we efficient. Anything over 40? What are we talking about empty? Now, the shit Jeremy Grant is doing in Portland is empty.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's always been my use of empty stats. Jeremy Grant. That's been my
empty.
use of empty stats.
So you
every
talking
time.
about
Jeremy Grant hasn't always been empty.
No,
I've been
a
calling
thing.
Jeremy Grant empty since Detroit. That's why.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, what Jeremy Grant is doing is empty. Kevin Durant ain't doing no empty shit. And y'all, and some people out of their goddamn mind with this shit, bro. Like,
Well, Jordan,
y'all
could the 20 when they say empty, could they mean maybe 27 isn't 0, but maybe they're saying like that 27 is more like a 18 and a half.
how?
So it's
How
watered
possible
down.
could it be?
Mm.
How could it
A
be?
diluted 27.
Empty could
Right,
also
right.
be so
Right.
Jordan.
You know
Empty
what
could
I'm
also be when you doing it. Like you could be getting 26, you could get 25, you could also get 19. It could be a loud 19. You could get a 26, you can get 24, and it could be a quiet 24 where it didn't really affect the game that much. And I think that's what
Listen, I'm Kevin Durant. Don't disrespect me with no how I'm doing it. You see what I'm doing. You see me get the ball, put it wherever I want to put it, and I score it. I don't get that. I'm Kevin Durant. Don't talk to me like I'm a rookie, like I'm a second year player. I've been doing this shit for 15 years.
And I don't think anybody
Almost
is doing that. I've never said anything
empty.
about KD's buckets being empty.
But
I've
I'm
never said
saying
anything
the
about that.
national news is talking about that now. And it's like, now I kind of get where Kevin Durant coming from. It's like, bro, how dare you? How dare you sit up there and run your mouth like I'm not Kevin Durant? Don't do that. Don't run your mouth like that. We don't talk about Luka
It's time
shit.
to run a poll.
We don't talk about Luka shit be empty. Why they don't say Luka empty? Because it ain't. Exactly. Because it ain't. Luka ain't never had no empty stats. That's all I'm saying. So what we doing with Kevin Durant? I just don't like it. I just don't like. Oh, by the way, too, I didn't want to derail the conversation. I just had to get that Kevin Durant off because you know he on my time. He on my side now. We gotta look out for him.
See, I was.
He on my side.
We knew. We get it. We
gotta look out for him while he in Houston now. You know, I gotta show him all the good spots to eat at and all that stuff. You know, all that type of vibe.
He ain't in the same spot as James Harden, so you ain't gotta worry about that. He ain't there.
He probably pull up the James restaurant. I
ain't talking about James restaurant. I'm talking about the other spot.
KD be out.
No, I don't know. I don't know if he's in the same spots that James Harden be in. Nah,
He might not frequent him like James Harden do. Like James Harden got a room in the back. He got a room, a bed, spare clothes, and all of that.
Hey, but listen though, I wouldn't be surprised if Portland moved Jrue Holiday again. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Portland moved Jrue Holiday to the Rockets. I wouldn't be surprised.
I really could see that though.
I
For real.
know
I know it's a little bias in that, Jordan, but I could really see that. And that'd be crazy.
What would it cost
for
Jrue Holiday to Portland? So Jrue Holiday to Portland for
Jrue Holiday
to Houston.
Jrue Holiday from Portland to Houston for
the money has to.
Yeah, the money.
It would have to be. It would have to be
signing. So you end up re-signing Van Fleet. That you end up re-signing Van Fleet.
You don't have to resign him.
But he
It would
doesn't
have to
come
be
off
a
the books.
sign and trade, right?
Yeah, he comes
Because
off
they
the
just
ball.
declined his team
Is he a
option.
free agent?
Yeah.
I thought he was on his
Yeah,
last year. of this deal.
they just declined his team option
Yeah.
like yesterday.
Oh,
So he's
okay,
free
okay,
agent.
So they'd have to re-sign him and then move him to Portland, which I don't think is going to
I
happen.
can see that. I can
But
see it happening though.
that's what would have to happen because Joe Landale and Steven Adams' money ain't going to make it work. And Portland's
And they re-signed
Steven Adams is not getting traded.
No,
I agree, but so it would have to be Fred.
And they probably signed Steven Adams because they knew they was getting Kevin Durant, by the way. But and Kevin Durant saying that he will restructure his deal so he can stay there long term, by the way, too, to end his career in Houston. So some money gonna get moved around. But I made my statement when I said we traded Jalen Green and kept Jalen Green at the same time. And I meant that. Yeah, I'm dead ass with that. Cam Whitmore is Jalen Green. Give him the same look. He bigger. He might be a better scorer. You just ain't seen Cam Whitmore off the leash yet. That's what you ain't seen. And I think Cam Whitmore would be a better catch and shoot spot up shooter than Jalen Green too, by the way. I think he would be more consistent at doing it. But don't let his numbers fool you from this year. We saw spurts. His IQ is bad as hell, but so was Jalen Green. So, I mean, what are we doing? Y'all, we forced it with Jalen Green. Let's force it with Cam Whitmore off the bench. Like I said, Jalen Green.
You thought he was a six. You thought he was a six man anyway. You did.
Yeah,
you thought Jalen Green was a rotation guy anyway. So you and me were at odds with about Jalen Green because he was getting better too.
Yeah, but
it just didn't work in the playoffs yet.
Chill. This is the beginning of a lot of shit that's gonna happen in Jalen Green's career. I knew he was gonna get traded once they signed that friendly tradable deal. Once I seen that whatever 100 million they gave him, I said that's a tradable contract. I knew it off the rip. I came up here and I argued with y'all that the Rockets were going to trade Jalen Green. I said it all season. They are going to trade him. Got traded. The next step.
I mean, shit. Kevin Durant came available. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying, Mars. My question, if you're moving off of KD, and I probably said this to you guys before, do you think Jalen Green at his best would be as good as Kevin Durant is today? I ain't talking about his whole career.
No.
Jalen Green at his the best
do I
version
think
of
Jalen Green will be a top 10 player in the NBA? No.
That's what I'm saying. The best version of Jalen Green.
This version of Kevin Durant too? Yes.
This is what I'm talking about.
I don't think Jalen Green will be a top 10 player.
If you don't think that,
I could see it.
I'm not talking about ranking like what Mars was talking about. I'm talking about as impactful. Yeah, hell yeah.
Because if you don't think that, if you don't think he's going to be that good, then you make the deal. No,
y'all. Absolutely. We got a $100 super chat from Arch. He said, "Question to everyone: with the Houston Rockets as is right now, what is their floor and what is their ceiling next year?" Before you guys answer this, though, hold this thought. Think about it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But chat, we got some business to do right quick. We'll get back to your super chat, Arch. But chat, we got to get down to the bottom of some things. And it starts with PrizePicks, where you can run your game, control your game, and win your game. And with PrizePicks, when you use promo code PANEL, you will get 50 back instantly in lineups when you play just $5. PrizePicks makes it easy to get in on real action sports with your favorite players in the favorite sports that you like. And it also gives you a chance to win back real money. So join the action and run your game. PrizePicks makes it easy. And essentially, you get to choose the players you love. You get to pick more or less with 2 or more players in any sport. And then you can win up to 2,000 times your entry fee. It's that simple. Craft your winning lineup, cash out fast, and join a community that's winning money every day. So turn your sports knowledge into cash with PrizePicks like we do here every day on the panel. Once again, download the app, use promo code PANEL, play $5, get 50 back instantly, pick more or less on player projections, win real money up to 2,000 times what you put in, and you will get instant payouts with secure withdrawals. We'll see you guys on the PrizePicks app in the winning circle tomorrow. Just like we'll be. All right, y'all, let's get back to it. So my man Arch asked a legit and a solid question. What is the floor and what is the ceiling of the Houston Rockets as currently stands?
The floor is the AC. The ceiling is the NBA finals.
The floor is the 8 seed.
I can't see them making. Like, are we assuming health of the whole NBA? Like, we're not gonna be like, all right, if OKC gets hurt, right? Like, we're not gonna do that.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
everybody healthy.
I'm everybody healthy. I'm seeing finals.
I think their ceiling is anyone but OKC, if that makes sense. Like in the West, I think best case scenario, they could be anyone in the West.
It looked like Mars. It looked like OKC finna do something they ain't got no business doing. Talking about trading up.
Yeah, they talking about trading up.
They got so many. Like, we're at a point like OKC have to move these draft picks. Like, they can't have 20 draft picks. Like, they can't draft 20 players. There's only 15 rosters.
Shit.
Like, so they like, why not move up? If you see the 6th pick and you can get it, I wish the Wizards have the 6th pick. That's not attainable. But if you see a team that is like trying to be good or something, why not move up from 15 to their pick and see what you can get? Like, why not? Like, they have to move picks. Like, they can't just keep all these picks forever. Like, they have to actually trade them. And I think the more picks,
somebody gonna get traded on their team though, Mars.
Yeah, maybe
they finna go get.
If it's someone within the rotation, like if it's I'd stay away from the Lou Dorts, the J-Dub, Shea, Chet, obviously, Caruso, Hartenstein. But if we're saying Isaiah Joe, if we're saying Aaron Wiggins, for the right move, I'll do it for the right move for sure.
Are we saying Payson Wallace?
Oh, the franchise guard?
Yeah. Are we, if I can see them getting on vacation, big dog.
If you called up Charlotte and Charlotte said they love Cason Wallace and they really were feeling Wiggins
for the 4th pick,
what else?
Wait
a minute, Mars. Wait.
Hell yeah! What we talking about?
Charlotte not doing that.
Oh, what else you want? What else are you looking for?
I don't know if I would trade Cason for the 4th pick. Well, like, who? I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Okay,
if you're OKC,
okay. Let's just talk this through, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't know if I would do this.
Why not?
And I always say this every time we're talking about picks. So let's say the first 3 goes as slotted. And let's say Ace Bailey's the 3rd pick. I don't know if he's gonna be.
Yeah, that's not how it's slotted, but okay.
Oh well, who's John D?
VJ is probably
VJ. All right, cool. So let's say Ace Bailey's there.
Yep.
Do you think Ace Bailey, and I'm high on Ace Bailey, do you think Ace Bailey is going to contribute next year to them winning the championship?
Not right away.
You might as well keep Aaron Wiggins.
No, not right away. No.
That 4's a bit high. I understand what Ron is saying. Like, 4 for me is too high to get value that OKC would deem valuable. But like 7, 8, yeah, I think there's going to be some good players around there.
But for Cason, though, because also Cason's what, 22? For me to trade Cason for a draft pick, I mean, if the draft pick is as good as you think it's going to be, they're going to cost you money too. I mean, yes, it pushes it back 2 or 3 years, but I'm like, do they help you to repeat immediately? And are they going to be as good as Cason? I know Cason's a proven commodity. I know he helps our defense the way he helps our defense. I know he can start. He can come off the bench. He can play off the ball. He can guard on the ball. He gives us a little bit of creation offensively. He's a transition demon. That's my only thing is I'm trading for an unproven commodity. And now, like the number 4 pick, it sounds amazing. Ooh, the number 4 pick. But does Trey Johnson give me the same value as him?
I don't know.
I'd move top pitch before I'd move Case. But
yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Trey Jones, Mars?
Trey.
I said before.
Since we on that subject,
you got him started.
What you Mars? Okay,
if you're Brooklyn with the 8th pick, I'll give you Nikola Topic for the 8th pick.
Hand over the kid, Mars. Give me the kid.
Again,
if I'm Brooklyn,
we got a deal.
We got down to the bottom where the kid's gonna go.
Give me the kid.
Where the whole thing started was the Nets with Topic.
Give me the kid, Mars.
There you go.
Hey,
we went through this all year to finally get to the 8th pick for
no, because he was doing he was saying Cam Johnson and stuff, and I'm like, they don't need to do that. And evidently they didn't need to, but the 8th pick, yeah, I'll do that.
I will say Trey Johnson might be good as a motherfucker with Oklahoma City though.
What does it take?
He might be that.
The shooting, yeah, but like that's
his creativity though. His creativity too, as far as like off the bounce.
I'm one of the believers that like you can convince me that Trey Johnson is the best scorer in the draft. Like you can really convince me.
That boy,
And
that boy got it.
The difference between him and Harper for me is like the conversion. Like he's a way better shooter than Harper, but Harper generates space better in my opinion. Like Trey Johnson struggles with rim pressure. Dylan Harper doesn't struggle with that at all. But Trey Johnson's the better mid-range shooter, tough shot maker, and three-point shooter, and off-ball creator. So
he's also taller.
He's also played out of the post. He also has a lot of playmaking chops. Like I would love him in OKC. I think another thing with OKC is I just want them to get more ball handling and more off-ball players. Like in these finals, you saw like it wasn't just Shea being like inconsistent as a playmaker, but it was also the Thunder not relocating around the perimeter to make passing angles easier for him. And I think Trey Johnson does that really well. Now, are they going to trade up for 4? Maybe not. Like that's like best case scenario. They go get a Trey Johnson, but I think like a Kasparas Yakachonis could be really good at 15. Like he's out of
not just another Nikola Topic.
No, he's a shooter. I like Kasparas. He's a decent shooter.
You think he's a shooter?
He's a good shooter. He's a better shooter than Topic.
He shoot that shit.
I don't think that's saying much.
But...
I think calling Yakachonis. No, you do this more than me, so maybe I'm just way off base. I wouldn't call him a shooter. I would call him someone who can make shots. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can understand that. I think he can scale up to be a better shooter, but I like the off-ball feel. I like the attacking advantage feel. The dribbling, he over dribbles sometimes in situations to where you can find him dribbling himself into a crowd or dribbling himself into the corner, which is why I would have him play more of an off guard role. And then it's like, he doesn't have to play right away. That's why I don't think I think OKC have such a wide range because they have the leverage to sit these guys for a while. So Yakachonis, if he's knocking down shots, he can play. He has some off-ball feel to where he can attack advantages that J-Dub and Shea create for him. Like if he's knocking down shots, fine, let him play. If he's not, pull him. He'll get better.
If there's
that's very true.
If there's 4 players that I'm OKC and I'm looking at, they range.
These are to trade up for or at 15.
They have 15, so some might be available at 15, some might. Like Konkanippa would be number 1. I think you'd have to move up for him.
Konkanippa is
an elite shooter, someone who improved at finishing as the year went on. Now, not a very good athlete. And not a good on-ball defender, but aware, understands his role within a team scheme, isn't going to force turnover. So, doesn't fit the OKC mold defensively, but provides much-needed shot making on the wings, off the ball, all of that stuff, and is a very high IQ guy. The typical white shooter, basically. No disrespect to Konkanippa, but that's kind of what he is. Then I'm looking at John D's guy, Cedric Howard. I think his defense, his length, his ability to cause havoc on defense. Then he's shown an ability to make shots. He's shown some ability to play off the move, play off closeouts and stuff, pass the ball. Then I'm looking at Carter Bryant. That's Penn's guy in the draft. I'm looking at Carter Bryant, someone who I'm not as high on offensively from what I've seen, but can make shots. And I like a lot in terms of his physical profile and his defense. And then my last one would be Neat Clifford, who I think is old. He's like 23. But he fits the mold of what I think OKC like in terms of a very smart player, someone who can shoot the ball, someone who can make reads. He can run like tertiary ball handling responsibilities. He kind of just does a lot of things, but the ceiling is obviously not as high because of his age.
Did you just say tertiary?
Yeah, tertiary. Yeah.
Oh boy, you own it, boy.
I got Neat Clifford.
Those would be the 4 I'd be looking at.
I got Neat Clifford going 14 to the Spurs.
You have him in the lottery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Neat Clifford, I think he has like a very wide range depending on what teams need. I think San Antonio needs some offensive feel. I think they need some offensive feel. Dylan Harper as a shooter right now, he still needs some improvement. Yes, he can knock down shots, but he still needs some improvement. Stephon Castle, as we know, isn't the best shooter, and De'Aaron Fox isn't the best shooter either. I think they need some offensive feel if they're going to go Dylan Harper at 2. I think they need some offensive feel, whether it's Neat Clifford, whether it's Cedric Howard, it could be him as well. Just some offensive feel, So I think Neat Clifford would be a decent move. I mock Neat Clifford for Magic. Yeah, that as well. I think Cedric could be there at 14. Neat could be there. I wouldn't take Jace Richardson with the 14th pick.
Are you talking just for OKC or just in general?
Just in general.
He's too small.
I'm not high on him either.
You a 6'1" guard. That's
yeah.
And I mean, he's not bad, but we also know what's going on here as well.
What's the name from Florida? It's smaller too, and he a 2 guard.
Dad played in the NBA.
Clayton.
Walter Clayton.
Yeah, but
Walter
Walter
Clayton
Walter
brings them.
way better.
Walter
Way better
Clayton
scorer than him.
might be the best shooter in the draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way better scorer than him.
It's
too,
what it's him. I think it's what's his name, like Kobe Jones, something like that. But he's like a late second.
Better than
rounder.
Knipple from the kid from Duke.
He
He's
might
a-
be.
I think he's a better difficult shooter, like off the bounce. I think he's a
Yeah.
better shooter in that aspect. But I think Walter Clayton also brings like an on-ball gap between him and Richardson. Like
He can shoot off the pick and
Clayton
roll.
can shoot off, yeah, he can shoot out of the pick and roll. He can shoot out of isolation. He can make these tough shots off the bounce. He can get to the rim consistently. But again, the size thing and just the fact that he's really bad on defense. Like he gets lost in rotation multiple times. He doesn't have the height to necessarily switch on the guys. And again, in this NBA and the mismatch hunting league, that's just not the best attributes to have. So
I also don't think I've seen Jace Richardson make a layup with his right hand.
yeah.
No, I haven't watched many games, but I don't think I've seen one. So
Yeah, that's like the same. That's like the same problem I have
Isn't
with
that-
Ben Seraph.
But isn't that the case with a lot of left-handed guys? They're very left-handed.
yeah, but when you 6'1" and you have no
Yeah.
level of dexterity, like I don't
No
know
level
how
of
you're
what?
gonna finish.
No level of what?
Oh my god!
You don't like that word, dexterity.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Absolutely.
I don't know when you that small, like you're already gonna have issues.
Mars on it today, boy.
And you have literally no right hand. That's a red flag to me personally. But
Because I know how you feel about. I mean, John D. I know how you feel about Knipple. He sounds like Luke Kennard to me, 2.0.
I think I don't
Luke
hate
Kennard
it.
was better in college than Conklin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Luke Kennard was the man in college.
Mhm.
Luke Kennard was. Everybody was like JJ Redick. I hate it. You know, people compare everybody to JJ Redick when they white and they go to Duke. But it's like, what is y'all ceiling for Con Knipple?
Very high level starter.
High
It's a
level.
Yeah,
star.
he's like
Okay.
your four. He's like your
Like-
4-star. He's like your 4-star.
Yeah.
Okay, but
but,
like,
like,
give
really
me
good.
give me like the range of players he in.
Well-
They ain't got to be white, but I understand if they
I
white.
just said, to be honest with you,
Um,
because if you saying he's your fourth starter, how much of a separation is it between your fourth guy and your sixth guy? How much separation is there?
I mean, if your team's really good, hopefully not much.
Right.
He's like
Because from listening to him, because from reading the scout
a
report,
better
on him,
Aaron Neesmith and Malik Beasley. Like that's what
Better
I would
than
do this.
Aaron Neesmith and Malik Beasley.
a better version of him.
Yeah,
That's because
that-
the on ball
might
and the
be
passing.
bad.
The
Yeah,
passing.
the passing would be the separation.
He
Like, the
creates that
ability
as
to
a
make
pick and roll
reads.
really
Yeah.
well.
But you got to understand. I understand what you mean about him creating out
No,
of
you
pick
said
and roll.
ceiling, by the way, so that's why I said ceiling.
Okay, but I'm just going off of John D saying he
Yeah.
got to pick and roll really well. You probably, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go on a limb right now, and I'm willing to be wrong. You may never see him work a pick and roll.
Exactly. That's not what we're
So
leaning.
why does
on.
it matter? So why does it matter? Like the
Just having
passer you gotta pick and roll?
but just he passes well out of attacking closeouts as well. And like people can be very sloppy attacking a shooter on a closeout. They're not thinking to necessarily stop and set their feet when they're trying to attack a shooter off a closeout. He can take advantage off driving past that. He's made skip passes out of that. He's made he's spotted
Very good
cutters with
interior
that.
passer. Very good
Yeah,
interior
he's
passer.
really good at that stuff. So if he
I would
even if he
actually
doesn't
like him in Detroit. What pick does
He's
Detroit
nice
have?
over there.
Do they
I
have a
don't
pick?
think they have a pick. Because Minnesota owned their pick. That would be 17.
Oh,
They wouldn't even-
17? Ooh.
He ain't
Yeah,
going
they
to LA.
wouldn't even be able to go get him.
I
Yeah,
do.
I
I
would've
do
liked
like
him.
Khan a lot. I haven't necessarily seen the passing. I believe it's there just because how patient he is and how he, gets to his spots. But his game is the way he gets to his mid-range shot is very similar in terms of how methodical it is to Devin Booker. I'm not saying he's the scorer Devin Booker is, but the way he gets to his spots is real smooth. He knows how to pick and choose. He slows down. He doesn't ever really look rushed. And on top of that, he be smacking that mid-range.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that 1-2 dribble pull up with Khan, it's damn near
and
automatic.
he
I
doesn't
know,
have like the quickest
Ron.
first step, but he's a stronger player to where he can create separation when driving to the rim and just stop and pop pull up in the mid range to where he has a pretty decent level of space to get that off. I'm
know,
not saying he's
John
going to be
D.
some type of all-star, but I think he could be a
That's
starter
what
in
I'm
this league. Like,
Yeah, I'm
John
not
D,
projecting
John
a
D.
crazy high ceiling. I just think he'll have a long NBA career, man.
Maybe, but my thing is, man, we seen them players go from.
How many
starting
players
in the
have you
mud.
said this about?
I said about a lot of
We've
players
seen
because I
this
just
before, John D. We've seen it.
this. Boy, I mean, that shit got Gordon Hayward and Pat Connaughton written all over it.
Gordon Hayward was good.
Gordon Hayward was an all-star.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it got Gordon Hayward or Pat Connaughton written all over it.
I don't see Gordon Hayward as well. Okay, sure.
Did you see Pat Connaughton?
But like, I just think Conker is a high floor, low ceiling prospect. Not in terms of like low ceiling as in best case scenario, he's a bench player. But like I don't think he's ever gonna be an all-star. But I don't think he needs to be. It depends on where you draft him and what team gets him. But a team that needs someone who can play with poise, he's really good playing off 2 feet. Like John D said about the passing, like he just does all of the connective role player things really well.
Like Luke Kennard.
Yeah, and if he does become like a better pull-up shooter from 3, not someone to create an isolation, but someone who can run, Jordan's favorite word, tertiary actions, or just on the second side, he gets the ball, there's a closeout. Maybe that closeout turns into an empty side pick and roll, and he can just shoot a pull-up 3 out of that. Like, adding that level to his game, like you end up being like, this guy is a legitimate 4th, 3rd starter. Now, what that means in terms of averages, I don't know. It's probably like 14 to 16. Like, I don't know what it actually translates to in the box score. But I think he'll be a valuable player. The defense is obviously the biggest concern though. Like,
the reason why I said Luke Kennard, the reason why I said Luke Kennard is because Ron and I had a conversation, and I've actually watched Memphis games where I seen Luke Kennard put the ball on the floor. He can go get it. And this kid, Knipple, I've seen him put the ball on the floor, and I'm not sure if he'll ever be the level of shooter that Luke Kennard is, but there are a lot of similarities. I'm not just on the white boy thing. I don't do the white boy thing. No,
Chill. He a little more comfortable with the rock than Luke Kennard is.
I was just about to say, Chill, have you seen Luke Kennard handle the ball in the playoffs?
I've seen him shoot more in the playoffs than handle the ball in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. But it don't.
I've seen him pop shots too in the playoffs.
So that's all what I'm considering when I'm looking at a player. I'm considering him in the toughest spots. I know we can all imagine him in the greatest situation or in a great thing that caters to him. But I think the common mistake everybody makes a lot of times is you're not always going to be given a great situation. I think you got to factor in the situations that he might get. And to me, it's so many holes in it. I'm not saying he's not a good player. It's just opportunity. Like, I know the NBA works off of opportunity of what you allow to do and what you get to do. Yeah. I don't want to see him get to a situation to where a lot of teams, Mars, don't even get to a tertiary ball handler. Like, they don't even get to that, because it's always the 1 or 2 guys that shoot the shots and the other ones just fall in line. So it gets the right situation. Like, what situation do y'all see him being in? I don't know if he can be Denny. I don't even know if he can be in. I don't even know if he can be Denny Avdija. However the hell you say his name.
No, Denny Avdija is really good. So
yeah, Avdija. That's what I'm saying. But
Dallas, San Antonio, Philly, Charlotte, Utah,
I had
Washington.
Khan going to the Pelicans.
New Orleans at 7. I don't know what New Orleans is doing. Like, so
ain't no way they're gonna draft Con Knipple.
I don't know if they're gonna swing upsides because they're trying to move off Trey Murphy in them, or they're trying to swing someone who can help Zion, in which I think Con Knipple is actually good. Like, I don't know what New Orleans is doing, so I can't project that. But like Toronto at 9, I think Con Knipple would be really good around Scotty Barnes, around Brandon Ingram.
I had him mocked to Houston for the long.
When Houston had the 10th pick, Con Knipple was the guy I was saying, like, go get Con Knipple. I think that would be great.
What would it take to get Trey? Because I'm thinking about Trey Murphy, and I'm thinking about one of the better wings in the game. With the 15th pick, Cason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins get it done?
For Trey Murphy?
Yes.
I would ask for
Nikola
Jokic, but if I'm New Orleans. But...
You already gave me the kid in Mars. You gave me the kid already. Stop.
No, if I'm New Orleans, I'm asking for top. I don't particularly want Cason, not because he's not good. Topic just has higher upside in my opinion.
Sure.
So if I'm New Orleans, I would ask for Topic and 15. Yeah, I would ask for Topic 15 and then like
you want the 24th pick too?
Yeah, that's what I would ask for. Topic 15 and 24. That's what I would ask for. And then if you have to make money work, then you probably do add Aaron Wiggins or something.
That's a good move for New Orleans. And to be honest with you, Aaron Wiggins might not even be that good on another team like that. So that's why I need
and Jordan, the way he be coming off that bench at home.
Yeah, that's at home. But in New Orleans, he's like, boy, that's like a third world country for him. Boy,
for sure. But he make it look
shout out to New Orleans, though. I love New Orleans, but boy, y'all need to get rid of y'all goddamn team, boy.
Yes, Mars,
Y'all need to sell the franchise.
Yes, I would do that.
Look, everybody that's a Player's Choice fan, and Player's Choice family in New Orleans, man, I love y'all to death. I love New Orleans, man. I love New Orleans people. But y'all need to sell that goddamn Pelicans franchise, man. Just get rid of that shit. Send it to Seattle or something.
Because you figure
Take it.
Bigger.
Zion, we got some Seattle dogs for you.
I'm looking at it.
Goddamn.
So John D, I'm looking at this.
King Glizzies for you, boy.
Go ahead.
I'm just looking at what New Orleans is trying to build. All right, you just got off of Brandon Ingram. So if it's going to take the 16th and the 24th pick to get Trey Murphy, now I got 3 ones because I get to keep the 8, or is it the 7 that they got? 7. Okay, I get to keep the 7, then I get the 15th, and I get the 24. For Trey Murphy, that means that I'm thinking one of these picks is going to be, at minimum, one of these picks is going to be better than Trey Murphy. I'll do it. Deal.
Hey, chill.
If I'm New Orleans, I'm calling up Philly. I'm trying to move up to 3.
We got a deal. Yes.
Like, that's what I'm trying to do. If I'm New Orleans, I'm like, hey, you want Trey Murphy? I know you're trying to contend.
For them to give you Paul George?
I did the same thing.
The number 3 pick.
The
number 3 pick. That's all I want.
I did the same thing with Brooklyn.
You got to take Paul George.
I was saying, like, give Philly Cam Johnson and the 8th pick for pick 3 and like some salary filler.
That's what I'm trying to do. If I'm New Orleans, I'm trying to move up to 3.
Mars, why am I giving you my number 3 pick? What am I giving you?
Because you're trying to contend. Trey Murphy helps you do that more than whoever the number 3 pick is. VJ, Ace, whoever. So we give you 7, or we keep 7, and we give you Trey Murphy for the number 3 pick and whatever makes the salary. So Trey Murphy, in my opinion, is a young player. I think Trey Murphy's 23, 24.
Yeah.
So Trey Murphy's
25 this year.
Trey Murphy's young. Trey Murphy helps in your pursuit of contention. And all you're doing is giving up a pick on someone who you're betting on upside instead of helping you win right now. If I'm Philly, I'm like, yeah, I would do Trey Murphy for the number 3 pick and salary. Whoever that salary is, I don't know. But.
Which I am, Mars, which I am trying to contend. However, I've seen Paul George. He's on his way out the door. So I do have to think about the future too here, Mars. Let's be clear about that. There is a guy. Okay, 100%. And that's who I want to build around. However, Mars, here's the difference. There is a guy that I like. There is a guy that I like. I just don't like him at 3. And my problem is I do want that number 7 pick from you. But I don't think that guy's going to be there when I pick 7. That's the problem that I'm having. So that's why I'm a little reluctant to make this
for
deal.
Philly? Or are you just speaking? But
I think that they like somebody. I think they like somebody. They just don't like.
That's what's been reported. They said Philly doesn't want to. Don't want, which I think they should trade back. I've been on that for a while now.
I don't know who it is, John D, but I think that they like somebody. I just don't think they like him at 3.
Chill, and you said it a lot, Chill, about if you make a trade for a young guy, that means that you think that they will be better than this player one day, or the opposite of that. And I don't think that's the best way to look at the trade. If I'm trading my draft pick for a guy that's been in the league right now, that doesn't mean that I think this guy will never be as good as him. It just might be a timeline thing. It could be like, well, we're trying to do something right now, or even more than that, it could just be a fit thing. Like we've seen plenty of times where inferior players take the role of a superior player, and it just fits more, and the team just gets better. That's my only reason. That's the only reason I give pushback on that. That type of thought process when it comes to trades. I'm not, I'm just only thinking about what it's doing for my team. I don't care how good that player is for that team. That doesn't matter to me at all. And it's not so much. And sometimes a team might be looking 5 years plus or 3 years or less. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I don't think it necessarily works that way.
Which, and that's fair. But I'm thinking about what my timeline is. Joel Embiid has been ridiculously injured throughout the course of. And John, I want you to stay on the point that you was on, John. I don't want to get off that point that you was on. But to rebut what Ox was saying, when I think about my timeline, I don't know how much time I have with Joel Embiid. So I think that this situation, and I know that I don't have much time with Joel Embiid. I know I don't have much time with Paul George.
0 time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I know that I don't have much time with these guys. So if I'm picking a guy, or if there's a guy that I have, I don't know, at 6 or at 7, and I'm moving off of this guy, I'm thinking about what this guy is going to look like 4 or 5 years from now. That's what I'm thinking about, because I'm going to lose Joel Embiid in the next couple of years. And if I'm going to keep this guy, is he going to be better than this guy later on than right now. Because again, with Joel Embiid and Paul George, I think within the next 2 years, I'm going to lose these guys because I don't think that they're going to hold up. So am I
trading
interested
Joel
in
Embiid right now?
I'm already on that.
I don't even know if that's possible at this point.
I don't think it is neither,
Yeah.
Moss, because of the money. I think that contract is ridiculous. What I'm saying, and I've actually had this conversation with you guys, that I said that if the Philadelphia 76ers ended up with the #1 pick, I'm out on Joel Embiid, and I was checking temperatures on Paul George because I was gonna pick Cooper Flag, and I'm building this thing around Flag. I'm building this thing around Flag, McCain, and Maxey. Those are my guys. That's who I was gonna build this thing around. So Ox, if I got the #3 pick, whomever it is, if I'm trading him for, I don't know, Devin Booker. Let's say I'm trading him for Devin Booker. Like, how long am I going to have Devin Booker, #1? And #2, whomever I take at #3, is he ever going to be as good as Devin Booker in the future?
I don't think so.
So if that's the case, then I'm bringing Devin Booker over.
All right, y'all. It's about that time for us to get to the segment of the day.
What's that?
Now, I'm pretty sure if you are tapped in to the mainstream media, you know that Colin Cowherd said something about the last 7 championships, and it's lit the internet on fire. So what we are going to do is rank we know in the last 7 years, there's been 7 different champions. But who's the best out of that? And who's the worst out of that group? Right now, we are going to rank 1 through 7. Who's been who's been the best of the last 7 champions? OKC, Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics, Toronto Raptors, Los Angeles Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors. This should be interesting, y'all. Before I do that, though, I do want to shout out to all of our Hall of Famers: Vale, Kingster, Cheese, Braden, Arch, Joe Breezy, Minor, Rob Deere, Teddy Hart, Jason Grillionaire, Worldwide Mace Television, and Multi Kenny. Salute to y'all. If you're not a member yet, join up, and you already know, like the video. All right, let's get into it, y'all. This is how he ranked the 7 teams. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. His ranking of the last 7 champions was the Los Angeles Lakers at 1. The Boston Celtics 2024 at 2. The 2023 Denver Nuggets at 3. This is what did it for me, was #3. #4, the 2022 Golden State Warriors. At 5, the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. At 6, this year's Oklahoma City Thunder. And at 7, the 2019 Toronto Raptors. Fellas, before we get into the list, how do we feel about this list?
I'm smoking dope.
That Diesel.
And no fucking way the Lakers should be anywhere top.
See, he already starting off with the Laker hate. I don't think
How the Raptors number 7?
I don't think they should be 1. I think it's worse that the Raptors are 7. I think it's worse.
Raptors at 7.
The Lakers closer to #7 than they is #1.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
I don't agree. I think the bottom 2 is extremely obvious. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's extremely obvious.
The Lakers no higher than 5 on this though.
No, they're not.
Shit.
I don't agree.
Right, come on. The bottom 2, let's get the bottom 2 out the way. It's 22 Golden State and 21 Milwaukee.
The Bucks and the Warriors are easily
the Bucks and the Warriors are the 2 worst teams.
Yes. And on top of that,
middle.
Yeah.
John, first of all, Jordan, the 19 Warriors won the NBA championship against, the
Boston
19
Celtics.
Raptors. No, the Raptors won the NBA championship against the Warriors. That Warriors team in 22 is older and worse. You think they beat that 19 Raptors team?
No KD.
They beating that
2020.
They beating that 2020 Lakers team.
The 2022 Warriors are beating the Lakers team.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they are not.
Fuck, they're not.
No, they're not. No, they are not. No, they are not. No,
Are we going to ignore
that?
that? We know they lost in 23.
And how do you not know that, Jordan? When they and Jordan, by the way, how did you not know that when they mocked y'all out the playoffs with that little ass lineup that y'all tried to throw at them and they dominated y'all?
We didn't even play them in 22.
No, I'm talking about in 20 when they mocked y'all out the playoffs.
We was beating their ass. First of all, we was beating their ass.
Game 1? Yeah. Portland was cooking up game 1 too. Yeah,
And then
Portland
what
was
Beat
looking
their
in game
ass.
1
What are you
too.
talking about?
Yeah, that's that's Bron fill-out game. You know that's
That
Bron
game,
fill-out
all
that
it was,
game,
John
that
D.
game
That's
one
all it
stuff.
was.
Yeah,
There
that
wasn't no
game one
goddamn
stuff
fill-out
sound
shit.
good.
Like,
Check it out.
see, some told me in the back of my
Hold
head, I'm
on,
like, bro, this is
hold
gonna
on.
be disgusting. This is gonna be
Yeah,
Hold
disgusting.
on, no, hold on.
Wait, so
Because
we
that
can't
22
all agree
Warriors
that the
team
bottom
beat
two are the
that
Bucks
what
and
team?
Warriors?
Mars, I'm
Hold
with
on.
you.
I
I'm with you.
don't. I don't think it's the Bucks. I think it's the Warriors and the Nuggets.
I don't think it's nothing. Hold on, because that Warriors team
Nuggets?
beat the who? The champs, the Boston Celtics, the what?
They did beat the Celtics. The
So what we
Celtics as a
doing?
finals opponent might be the most impressive victory of any team here. If I had to
Who we
guess.
do?
That
Exactly.
doesn't to me that doesn't change how good the Warriors team is.
I agree. So wait.
Hold
So the
on.
Raptors played the Warriors.
bullshit
The
ass
Lakers played the Heat.
beat the garbage ass Heat.
They did. They
beat
had
y'all
made,
too,
they had
though.
the
How about
they
that?
had the
At
second least impressive. in
Disneyland.
that game.
They beat
beat
them at Disneyland.
They beat y'all too. How about that? I bet you if y'all would have
Yeah,
beat
it's
them,
more than
it wouldn't
just
have
who
been
you beat in the
Disneyland, would it,
finals.
Jordan?
It's
Right.
more than just who you beat.
They're not
Are you
even
going to
that,
tax the
though.
Celtics because
They're
they
not even in
beat?
the conversation.
Are you going to
Why
tax
are
the
you talking
Celtics
about
because of their
This is why
playoff run last year?
Jordan, I know what this is about.
If,
That's why-
if we're gonna tax teams based on who they play, the Celtics should be the worst team here. Like if that's what we're going to do. If we're going to tax the Lakers because of
The
who they
Lakers
played in
should
the
be the
finals,
worst
if
team
we're going to
here.
tax the Warriors and prop them up because they beat the best opponent out of all these teams, the Celtics should be last. No
Okay,
Jimmy Butler, no
so
Donovan
what do we
Mitchell,
do?
no
Okay,
Howard.
Hold on. Then put the goddamn Thunder last too. Hold on. Because what do we
Why are we putting the Thunder last? Whoa, stop right there, Jordan. Why are we putting the Thunder last?
No John Morant. Barely
He
an
figured
Aaron
him
Gordon.
out. He figured him out.
Barely an Aaron Gordon.
And game 7, by the way.
He was
Most
hurt
important
game
game.
3.
They
3,
escaped
4.
2 game 7s.
He probably was hurt 3 or 4.
Okay.
Nope.
They was on the ropes 2 times.
No Julius Randle.
Okay, we already know that you trolling with
No
that one.
Julius Randle.
Okay.
No
You know
Julius
Julius
Randle.
Not because he didn't play, because he got shut out. That's what that was about.
Yeah. No Julius Randle. He was
Yep.
hurt. We gonna say
Yep.
he was hurt.
Mentally
and then-
compromised.
And then Tyrese Halliburton had a boo boo. So
A boo boo is crazy.
Yo, Arch sent through another $100 super chat and said the 2019 Raptors is top 1 or 2 at the least.
At
To be
least
completely
easy.
honest,
I agree.
Easy. I don't understand what they're doing. At
They
7.
definitely
That's
better than that Warriors
crazy.
team in 22.
Man, they top
they
3.
not.
I think they top 3. I think they top 3.
They better
I
than
think they
that
top
Warriors
3.
team in 22.
It's not
what do we
better than
remember
that
about that
Warriors
Warriors
team.
defense? They had a top tier defense, but their offense was like middle of the pack.
Their offense was really good in the postseason, though. But
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
to be fair, some of that's taxed by the Nuggets with their first round of pick.
Oh man.
Some
Steph
of
was a
it
six
is.
man in that series. He
All
was
right,
a
all
six
right.
man, like
All
averaging
right,
like
so
what,
listen.
But then
7?
outside of the Warriors, they did play some good defenses. Dallas were a good defense in the regular season that year. The postseason, that round, they got fried. Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins. Steph didn't even have a good series. The second round against Memphis, they were good. And then the finals was amazing, particularly from Steph. The Warriors are really, none of these teams suck, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, of
So
course.
Mar, so
But
actually,
someone has
Mar,
to be 7th.
So what are we doing? Are we ranking the teams based on their performance, like a win the championship, or are we ranking the teams based on roster versus
No,
roster?
they're the champions.
Because that's two
I'm
different things.
ranking it based on how good the teams were.
Yes, how good
Exactly.
is this team?
That's what I'm doing.
Compared,
I
how good is that
ranking them.
2020 Laker team compared to the 2021
See,
Bucks
I wasn't.
championship
I was ranking them
Oh, they
based
clear.
on. I was ranking them based on them winning and how they won in the fashion that they won in. That's how I was ranking them. I wasn't trying to compare.
Oh,
the
then
teams.
yeah, put the bubble last for sure.
Exactly. That
You gonna put the
Disneyland goddamn. The motherfucker won at Disneyland.
Come on, gang. Like
bro,
this is what we still
bro,
doing
John
this.
D,
We still
John
doing
D,
this.
John D,
If
the
I have to
Lakers
rank championships, I'm sorry if we're
John-
doing it in the fashion in which they won.
John D,
The bottle's
John D,
going
listen.
They didn't
hard.
place a
John.
single team with their best player.
John D, listen. The Lakers
They played
championship
the
is like,
Heat.
it's like me and you going to the rodeo, and I say, John D, I want to hoop against you at this little basketball court at the rodeo. And we got teddy bears and cotton candies and shit around us, and then I spank your ass.
Here's the
7-0.
difference with the teddy bears and the cotton candy.
That's
You
what
can't
that
go to.
shit is.
And here's the difference between the teddy bears and the cotton candy. You can't get to none of them. You got to keep your ass right over here. You can't get to
Ain't
none
no
of that.
pressure.
Not
Ain't
only,
no
not
pressure.
only do you have to keep your ass over
I
here,
look up and
you
see
gotta
Mickey
eat.
Mouse
You
sleeping.
can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. You can't be around anybody but your crew. That's it. Let's not make it sound like this shit was rainbows and sunshine.
who has the 1 through 7 already like put together? Because to me, the 1 through 5, I'm still trying to figure out.
All I have is a bottom 2, and I don't even know the order.
Yeah,
exactly. I know it's Golden State and Milwaukee in my bottom 2.
Yeah, they're my bottom 2.
Because I'm not doing it how Jordan. I'm not doing it based on which run was the most impressive. I'm just doing it who I think the best teams were, 1 through 7.
I think right so far I got Golden State 7, Denver 6, OKC 5, Milwaukee 4, and then that's where it gets a little tricky.
I think the Warriors are the worst team of the 7 of these. They're at the bottom for me. I think the 22 Warriors of these teams, I think that they're at the bottom.
All right, so it sounds like everybody has the bottom of their list more so than the top of their list. So let's start at 7, and then we'll work our way up to 1.
Wow.
You guys already know how we're going to do this. We're going to do this as a collective.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get a vote. And we'll start at 7, and we'll figure out who's the worst team, and then we'll work our way up. It sounds like 7's already solidified, but I want to hear from you guys. Who's the worst team out of this group?
22
Warriors. Okay.
I think it's the Warriors, Ron. The 22 Warriors. I think that was the swan song. That was it for them. That was the worst version of them. That was the worst version of Curry. He shot the lowest of his career in the regular season and in the postseason. He wasn't that good. I mean, they did get rolling. I'm not going to argue that point. They did get rolling in the postseason. They did. Don't forget, he missed.
He was up and down in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's not make it sound like he just came in and they were rolling, because no, they weren't. That wasn't going on, Jordan.
I mean, the Warriors were rolling.
The point, Jordan.
I mean, it have to be. That's exactly the point. That's a good damn
team.
That
Warriors team, like, they did perform really well in the playoffs. Their offense got a lot better in the playoffs. Their defense was still really good. Draymond had like a resurgence defensively that year. I think he could have been the DPOY if he didn't miss some time.
Don't forget about pool party, because it was a
Jordan
pool party.
Yeah,
it was a pool party every weekend.
Yes, Andrew Wiggins, yeah. Otto Porter had a hell of a year.
Will Chamberlain's son.
Shout out Otto.
I don't know how they got him to stay healthy. I mean, I have my suspicions, but they managed to get Otto Porter to stay healthy for the one time.
Man, we ain't seen Otto Porter at all after that championship.
Like, you didn't see him before the championship. That man was injured before.
Bro, where the hell is
Otto? Hold on. Otto was putting in work in DC before he came over.
Yeah, for 17 games a
year. But where is he at
real
now?
Work
like,
in
where
DC.
the hell is Otto Porter at now?
The last team he was on was the Raptors, right?
Is he on the back of a milk carton? Is he missing? Like, what the hell?
The last team I remember Otto Porter on was the Raptors. That's the last time I remember him.
Me too. Otto somewhere enjoying life after a hell of an NBA career.
Man, after all that bread he got too, boy, Otto Porter was getting crazy bread.
Otto played some good basketball.
Was Wiggins, this Warriors team, were they better than the 2021 Bucks as a unit?
No, this team is the worst team. So. This team is number
7.
Why
you think they was better than the Bucks? In what area?
Because they got more scores. Like, you just having Steph, Clay, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole. Like, that's more than Giannis. I mean, you got Jrue Holiday, but that's not the scoring. The defense was good.
Chris Middleton.
Giannis Middleton.
That defense was amazing, but offensively, I think the Bucks are by far the worst team. Offensively, I think the Bucks are by far the worst.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got Clay. Remember, Jordan Poole averaged 20 points a game.
But defensively, they're like close to the top. So I don't know.
Okay, if they play each other,
who
wins if they play each other?
The Bucks are.
I think the Warriors. No,
I think the Warriors.
I think that's what matters.
That's actually not a terrible matchup, though.
I think the
Warriors win. The Warriors might beat them in 6 games, though.
All right, let's vote.
They got no answer for Giannis. None
whatsoever.
They don't got
Draymond.
Come on, y'all.
What have y'all seen?
2021.
What about Draymond?
I watched no answer for Giannis.
I watched Draymond type of answer for this year's Giannis. And he's better effectively now.
I watched it.
When y'all say the Warriors,
you think he's better? You think he's better?
Had like 15 points on terrible shooting.
One game.
Where else do we have to go? They play twice a year. There's not a lot of sample.
Shout out Data Ball.
Stop it.
I watched it happen this year. I watched Draymond have the answer for
let's
Giannis.
get
That one
the
time.
matchup data. Let's get the matchup data. Let's get that together right now.
Skewed data.
Let's not
Unless
use
it's in
that.
my
Yeah,
favor.
let's not
Go
use
get
that
the
to-
matchup.
In the
data.
words of Jordan, the mathletes. Let's do it.
I
Let's do
think
it.
y'all forget about this Bucks team.
We got another. Y'all got
And the
another
pieces-
website where y'all can look up each time they
Yeah,
breathe
like
on each other.
NBA.com has that. You can.
Oh, damn. See, I
what I'm
like
saying,
Data Baller.
okay.
I think it's neat.
Data what, John D?
Data Baller, but it's not.
That's all I know. I watched Giannis play the Warriors this year, and I watched Draymond have the answer. Now, do I think like
An older Draymond, sure.
Yeah, I don't think any of these and this is I hate this every time. The answer to beating the Bucks is not stop Giannis. You can't stop Giannis. You can't stop Steph. You can't stop LeBron. You can't stop AD. You can't stop Jokic. You can't stop what other champion. You can't stop Kawhi. You can't stop what's the other team I'm missing? Jason Tatum. You can't stop Shea. Like that's not how you beat these teams. You don't beat these teams by stopping those guys. You beat these teams by doing what you do more effectively than doing what they do and trying to take them out of what they do. Giannis is not going to be stopped by Draymond Green. Do I think Draymond Green can have games where he's really effective on Giannis? Do I think the Warriors can draw up a scheme where it's actually quite effective against Giannis? Yes. Do I think the Bucks offense is extremely flawed? Yes. Do I think they're going to beat the Bucks? I don't know.
I do.
I don't know. But I think they can. But
6 games.
I think you guys are
Steph-
forgetting
Steph-
how good this
Steph
Bucks
ripping
team
their heart
was. Now, I know Morris is saying flaws on offense. Okay. But do you guys remember? I don't even got to talk about Giannis. We know who Giannis is. Out of all these 7 teams that's in here, Giannis is 1, 2, or 3 as a player. So we know he's that good. But I'm saying Chris Middleton at that moment in time was giving you mid-20s every night.
Jrue, not every night. No, that's not true. No,
He
you can't say do you remember
there.
and then say something that's not true.
He in the playoffs he averaged around it.
Yeah, he averaged it because he would have 37 and then 14.
Hey, so
not every night. No,
Morris, come on, you know what I'm saying.
No.
On any given night, okay. On any given night, he could give you 25. So on any given night, Jrue or Chris Middleton was going off. But also, let's not forget who this Jrue Holiday was. Now he had his games where he was bad, but this is the Jrue Holiday that was getting to the rack. This is the Jrue Holiday that was creating. This was a Jrue Holiday that
really
was
good offensively in that postseason.
Yeah.
Slow down Chris Paul in the finals. Slow him down.
I'm not even talking about the defense. I'm just talking about on offense. How this is the Jrue Holiday that was still real athletic, getting to the hoop, and obviously could post you up and doing all of that.
Both hands, all that stuff.
But also, I want you guys to remember the shooters that they had. This is the biggest thing. Dante DiVincenzo shooting damn near 38%.
He didn't play.
Are we assuming Dante's healthy? Are we doing that?
He didn't play. He didn't play.
Yeah, are we doing that? Are we giving the Raptors OG Anunoby?
No, he was OG Anunoby.
We can say no for Dante DiVincenzo. There, we can say no.
No, he didn't play in the playoffs.
If that's the case, then give us a healthy Steph.
Pat Connaughton was shooting his ass off in these playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Bryn Forbes was shooting his ass off.
Untear Clay's ACL.
PJ Tucker was out there shooting.
Bobby Portis was knocking down open shots.
Bobby Portis was cracking that 3. You know what Brook Lopez is gonna do? I'm just saying.
No, we don't know what the hell he's gonna do against the Warriors. Ron, we don't know what he's gonna do against the Warriors.
Hey, look, this isn't 2025 Brook Lopez.
I think they take advantage of their lack of size.
2021.
I think the Milwaukee
this is what I mean when I feel like it's revision. Like the Bucks shot 32% from 3 during the playoffs.
Miles,
this wasn't a Bucks team that was making shots.
No, right. And a lot of their stuff was predicated on their defense. A lot of it. It was predicated on Brook Lopez, on Brook Lopez's rim protection.
Giannis, and
Giannis was elite as a defender. Giannis was elite as a defender. Jrue Holiday was also elite as a defender at that time. And they played not fast, but they played with a good pace. That definitely worked. However, I do think that this Warriors team gets taken advantage of in terms of their lack of size with this Milwaukee team. I think that they take advantage with Brook Lopez. I think with not just with Brook Lopez, but with Giannis and Middleton at 6'8". I think they take advantage of their lack of size.
I don't think no lack of size.
What do you mean?
Don't even matter.
How do they take advantage of it?
Right.
So for example, Mars and Jordan. So Giannis, being the playmaker that he is, getting downhill, kickouts, not just kickouts, but getting to the rim.
They want him to do that. They want him to kick it out.
Okay, and
to that 32% 3-point shooting on the roster.
Right, but we've also seen them make shots in the playoffs.
It was up and down. It was up and down.
It was up and down.
But here's the problem, Chill.
I think Middleton only had four games under 20. in that playoff run. He had some 35 games. He had some 28 games,
That's-
something like that. I mean,
But
straighten me
chill,
out.
here's the problem. Here's the problem. When they kick them
listening.
shots out and they brick them, and the Warriors go on the other end and they go get 3 instead of 2, what you think gonna happen after a while? And the Bucks can't keep up with the value.
He had
of
10
threes that the
games under
Warriors throw
20.
in.
They played 23. He scored under 20 10 times.
I just want to make
So-
sure that I'm
Nearly
following.
half of the games he scored under
So-
20.
So what I'm saying is with Clay, Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, Andre Iguodala's still on that team.
But the first 3 guys. you
Yeah,
mentioned
Iggy was not
are
doing much at that
lunch
point.
Hey,
Iggy wasn't doing much.
Hey, we gonna
Who's
we
lunch?
gonna get
Who's lunch?
Oh, the first 3 guys he mentioned.
I
Clay in
wasn't.
2022 is not Clay. in
Clay's
2017.
not a good defender at that point.
Yeah, those guys are all Drew Holiday's feasting on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Chris
know
Paul,
we-
Drew-
feasting
Drew
on
Holiday.
them.
First of all,
we
Drew
know what
Holiday
the
not
Warriors
feasting on
are.
him.
Yeah, we know what the Warriors are doing. They're gonna go Draymond and Looney in their front court. They're
Yep.
gonna have Wiggins
Yep.
guarding Giannis at the point of attack. Draymond's
Right.
being the anchor right behind it. Looney's gonna pinch in. They're gonna do their wall tactic. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna hide Steph on their worst offensive player, whoever we deem that to be. That's what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what they're going to do defensively. They're going to funnel outside shots to guys who they don't believe are good shooters. And then it's can Giannis overcome the wall? Can the Bucks shooters make shots? I don't know the answer to that question, but that's what they're going to do. The size thing, the reason I don't think the size is that big of a factor, the only way in which I think the size would be a huge factor would be rebounding. But the Warriors were a better rebounding team, especially on the offensive glass. With Kevon
They
Looney.
were a better rebounding team against other teams.
But Brook
until they-
Lopez isn't a very good rebounder.
No, he isn't. But Giannis is a superior rebounder. They ain't see
Yeah,
anybody
but now
like
you have
Giannis.
Kevon Looney crushing the offensive glass every possession.
Yes, you do. But
And if you want Drew to attack somebody, so what? Like, if Drew is gonna kill Jordan Poole, kill him, assault him, do whatever you need to do to him. Do what you need to do.
are we doing that with Middleton too? Are we doing that with?
Middleton
are we doing that
can
with
get
Middleton
guarded
too?
by Andrew. Middleton can get guarded by Andrew
So
Wiggins.
we're giving up. So we're giving up, like you said, Mars. We're giving up long balls to Middleton. We're giving up long balls to PJ Tucker, right? We're giving up long balls to Drew Holiday. Giannis is going to be on the glass. Drew Holiday is going to be on the glass. Bobby Portis is going to be on the glass because these second chance opportunities I think are going to be huge against this Golden State Warrior team because that's where I think the lack of size comes in because Andrew Wiggins isn't much of a rebounder. If you're a rebounder, if you're a rebounder in terms of
He
attacking,
was rebounding that year, to be fair.
if you're a rebounder in terms of attacking the offensive glass is Kevon Looney. Okay, so now Giannis being the best transition player or one of the best transition players in the game, he's on the glass. Now Looney's got to get back, and that's also affecting him on the defensive glass. And now it's helping that's helping Milwaukee on the offensive glass because he can't get back because he's attacking the offensive glass. Now, these guys are running. Giannis is running. Middleton is running. Bobby Portis is running. These guys are speeding up the game and making the game a little bit faster and getting on the glass, which is why I'm talking about taking advantage of their size.
I think I misspoke when I said the Bucks weren't a good rebounding team. The Bucks were a good rebounding team. What I meant was the Bucks' size advantage typically would be on the glass, but I think Kevon Looney being as good of a rebounder as he is, if Giannis is the best transition player in the league, which he definitely was in 2021, a big part of that was he's able to grab and go. That becomes more difficult when you have Kevon Looney battling for offensive rebounds every possession. And Kevon Looney's not responsible for stopping Giannis in transition. That would be Draymond. That would be Wiggins picking up high, and then you have Draymond behind it. So if Giannis is having to battle for these rebounds, they're going to use Brook Lopez to box out Kevon Looney ideally, and then Giannis to grab and go. That's what their plan would be. But Kevon Looney was so good at swimming box outs, putting his body everywhere, just getting to the ball, that Giannis is going to struggle to not only get a lot of those rebounds, but when he does, the Warriors defense can be set because the Warriors really only crashed with Kevon Looney. It wasn't everybody crash and go get an offensive rebound.
Sure.
It was
They were getting
Kevon
that.
Looney go crash and everyone else is kind of set and getting back in transition. So if they're able to do that, you take away some of their transition stuff because you have a set defense with Kevon Looney up there, and you have the best defender in the sport, in my opinion, in Draymond Green. Like that's a good recipe,
Which is
especially when the Bucks have questionable outside shooting.
Which
Yo,
is
I'm about to step
real
in,
quick,
chill.
Ron.
The reason why I want to step
Oh,
in is because we could do this with every team. We could compare, but this segment isn't about each team against each other.
Sure.
It's about us ranking which teams we think are better. Because one team can beat it. Like for instance, the 6 team can beat 4 other teams on here, but we don't think that they're the best team here.
I feel it.
So let's start at 7 again. Who does everybody have?
It seemed like the Warriors were the pick.
I got the Warriors at the 22
I don't
Warriors.
got the Warriors, but
Who do you got, Jordan, as the last team?
The Lakers.
I'm not even.
trying to
Yeah,
figure out what
I'm
you
not even
said.
entertaining that.
Yeah, I'm trying
All
to figure out what you're saying with this Laker team. Jordan.
I got the Bucks. I think the Bucks are the most flawed team, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I'm
All
gonna go
right,
with
John
the
D, who you got?
We got the Warriors.
It's 2 for the Warriors. Ox, who you got?
Warriors.
All right, so the Warriors are at the bottom. They are number 7 on our list. Now, number 6.
The Bucks.
Bucks.
I got Bucks.
All right, chill. Who do you think's the worst remaining team? Warriors are off the board.
The Warriors are off the board.
Are you guys factoring in the regular season at all? Like what they did during the regular season?
Yes,
I'm not.
doing that.
Okay, so
I'm just-
I wanted to gauge where everyone was at. Okay.
I'm doing that. That's why I think this Bucks team is
I'm
a
only
lot
doing
better
the
than we give them
postseason.
credit for.
I'm doing the team they had that won the championship. So I'm doing like the Raptors after the trade, for example. I'm doing the Thunder this whole season. I'm doing the Bucks for this season, etc. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm going off how the team played through their playoff run. Who was the better team in their playoff run?
Chill. Who you got?
It's between the Nuggets and the Celtics, and I think the
What?
Celtics. I think the Nuggets would have beat the Celtics. I mean, I think the
Really?
Celtics would have beat the. I think the Celtics would have beat the Nuggets.
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah. Come back to chill because I got.
Yeah, come back to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got the Lakers again? Until they get picked?
I'm going to take the
I got
Nuggets.
the Bucks.
Nuggets,
I am.
Bucks. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So hold on. Who you got, Jordan?
The Bucks.
You got the Bucks? Okay. And
No,
Chill, you
my
got
bad. I got the Lakers. I got the Bucks being better than them.
the Lakers. And then Chill, you said you got the Nuggets next?
Denver. Yes.
So we got 3 different picks: Bucks, Lakers, and Nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, who you rocking
He
with?
said he has the Bucks.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks.
Okay.
Next.
Big Ox.
Oh, yeah, I got the Nuggets. I already gave my list. Well, part of it. I got the Nuggets.
All right, so I could be a dictator, and I could say I'm just gonna choose the Nuggets, but I'm not gonna do that, Chad.
You said you thought the Nuggets were worse.
I
than the
I
Bucks.
do.
So
I'm
just
gonna
put
give.
the
I'm
Nuggets on?
gonna get a chat 3 minutes while we discuss who's better between.
Chill
these
ain't
two
even
teams.
pick his.
I said
Yeah,
the
He
Nuggets.
did.
I
He said the
Denver.
Nuggets. That's how they got
Oh,
2
my fault.
votes.
Yeah, I said.
Oh,
Denver.
so nobody voting for the Lakers? Okay.
No, the Lakers would have probably be in my top 3.
Wow,
The Lakers
Zach.
are probably going to be in my top 3.
Hey man,
I mean,
respect Mickey
I
Mouse.
enjoy the Laker hate. Don't get me wrong with Jordan, but I can't.
I like
Alright.
my issue with I just think the offense is too flawed. I think
Motherfuckers ain't even had no fun.
might be the best defense here. They might be. I will go with the Raptors personally, but they might be. But that offense is like so far the worst that's why I'm not as high on them. I think just in terms of the flaws on the roster, that's what holds me back. But someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was. Someone did say that they were a better 3-point shooting team in the regular season. And if I'm factoring in that, because they shot like 39% in the regular season, if I'm factoring in that and I'm saying in the playoffs they kind of just got cold at the wrong time, maybe they are a better team than I'm giving them credit for. So if I'm trying to be consistent and say I'm factoring in both, they probably are better. Because I know when it comes to OKC, I'm going to say they were one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the regular season, but that fell off a cliff in the playoffs for them as well. So maybe they didn't end up coming 7, so I'm going to change my vote. It doesn't matter ultimately. I'm going to put the Warriors at 7. The Bucks are still going 6. But I will say that because if I'm going to be logically consistent, I'm gonna do that. Oh my god,
All right,
okay,
chat,
defense better than the Bucks too. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Chat, the poll is running right now. I'm gonna give you about 2 more minutes to go and vote. This is between the Nuggets and the Bucks.
That Nuggets team was really good, man.
Yeah, they were. I ain't gonna argue that, Mars. They were,
And
really
they
good.
played defense in that postseason.
I think they had one of the best defenses in the postseason.
I think they were 4th, but some of that, like, and this is why I'm factoring in the whole regular season too, because playoff defenses can be based on opponent. Like, if you go up against opponents that are suited to your defense, that
Makes
doesn't
your
mean you're a
defense look
better
better.
defense. It just makes you look like a better defense.
Makes your defense look.
The Nuggets went
Oh.
up against teams that couldn't take advantage of their biggest flaw on defense, which was their rim protection. So does that make them a better defense, or does that mean they just had favorable matchups?
Y'all know how I feel about because that team was a little better than this team, obviously, but it's still for the most part the same core, if you will.
They were a good defense in this playoffs too.
They were
Statistically.
Sure, I just would have loved to see that Jokic defense in space with Tyler Hero coming downhill. I just wish I could have seen some of that. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, but
That's
that
all
year,
I'm saying.
Jokic actually played good defense in the finals, bro. I was saying that when the time, but
He played good defense in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was deterring some shots in that finals for real. Like that's a real the rim deterrence in that finals was real. Now that shit this year, that shit was not fucking real. But in that one, it was real.
I just think
that's his best season.
23? Yeah, I think 23 is Jokic's best year. I think my issue with the 23 Nuggets is I don't think they had to show much versatility. And when I'm evaluating teams, I have to look at what can the roster do and how flexible are they. I think the Nuggets are maybe the most rigid roster of any. Like they have to play defense this way. They can't stray from that game plan. That comes back to the flaws of MPJ, Jokic, and Jamal Murray on defense. Mainly those two wings I said. I mean,
they were so good.
But they were good at what they did schematically, but they couldn't do anything else schematically. And I think that holds them back from being in like the top 3 realm for me. But I still think that offense was so amazing.
That's where I'm
and
at.
Their defense was so good within their scheme. That scheme was so effective, albeit against the, in my opinion, favorable matchups, that I would still have them above 6. But I couldn't get them into that top 3 territory, so they'd be 4 through 6 for me.
All right, y'all. It's looking like the Nuggets are going to win this. But before we wrap this up, though, and move on to the next team, who wins between these two teams in a 7-game series? Nuggets
and Bucks and Nuggets?
Yeah.
To be
honest, that's the best version of Joker. I don't think that's the best version of Giannis. I think we're coming into that version of that best version of Giannis. The downhill stuff was elite. He had shown me that he could knock down a mid-range shot. His passing was great. I even got tricked into thinking that he was a better playmaker than Joker. I got off of that real quick. I was wild as hell. Yeah.
Jokic tricked you into thinking he played defense.
Now when I said they ain't faced no downhill threats.
Yeah, I was wild as hell.
Giannis kind of the biggest downhill threat in the NBA.
And Jrue shutting all that shit down from Jamal Murray too. So
Jrue struggled with
that Jrue Brook pick and roll defense. That Jrue Brook pick and roll. I think the Bucks might beat him.
Yeah,
and it's all down to matchups again. It's all down to matchups.
Yeah.
That I guess that's my only problem with the Nuggets in this scenario is, albeit they were a very good team, I just think they damn near lose to every team up here. Warriors, maybe not, but I think they lose to everybody.
I don't agree. I think they beat a couple teams. I think the Bucks are a tough. I think that could be like a 7-game series in my opinion. I don't know. That's a toss-up for me. If Swiper was here, he'll be telling you how this is disrespectful. So. But yeah, I think it's a toss-up.
All right, y'all. Well, the Bucks are going 6. So at 7, we have the Warriors, 2022. At 6, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, 2021. Now we got to figure out who is at 5.
Wait, who was at 6?
The Bucks.
Okay.
Denver.
John, we're going to start with you. Who do you have next?
To be completely honest, I have this either between Denver, Boston, or OKC. It's between those 3. And when I look at these teams, I look at which teams are the most versatile, which team have the highest floor, biggest margin for error. I'm going to go. I'll go OKC. I'm gonna go OKC. I gotta go OKC at 5.
Good pick, Diesel.
These are all really good teams, man. But then again, that's not locked in yet. Don't lock that in yet. Don't lock that.
You can lock it in for me, Ron.
I go Denver. That's right.
Okay, so Ox, you got OKC. Mars, you got Denver. Jordan, who you got?
The Lakers.
Right.
You gonna keep saying the Lakers, bro.
I gotta keep going with them Lakers till y'all stop. Till y'all realize this shit is a bullshit ass Mickey Mouse goddamn championship. Anything that got something to do at Disneyland, that's a large tax for me. And I've been the one to say, and I've been the one arguing.
If Houston would have won that chip, all of a sudden Disneyland making more money.
James Harden is something else. Russell Westbrook in a
incentives.
different space.
I have
oh my
incentives.
goodness.
I have incentives. That means I would be compromised. But since I'm not
incentives,
compromised
Steve.
at all, anything around the realm of we gotta have Disneyland around us, you don't get a crazy fanatic in the stands going nuts.
No, they had the virtual fans. I seen it.
And that shit,
Russ
that's
got
some more
into
cute
it
shit.
with a fan. What are you talking about?
There's no way he got into it with he got into it with somebody's brother. Come
got
Yeah,
into
it was a
with somebody
family
in the
member. or
crowd,
something.
though.
Rondo
It was
brother.
a family.
It
It
was
was a
Rondo
family
brother.
member. Yeah, because you allow family
Rondo
members.
brother. Man, come on, man.
After
This
the
man
first
ain't get into it. This
That's
man
still
ain't get into it.
fans.
It is still.
This man,
Yeah,
in order for you to
the
get
blood-
into it with a
the blood
fan, you
type.
gotta look at the screen and say, "Text me, chat me now, chat me now." Put
Yo,
something
that's
in the chat.
hilarious.
Get that bullshit
Yeah,
out of here.
send a super chat. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
send a super chat and disrespect me so I can get turned up.
Are family
Like-
members not fans, or am I losing my mind? I just want to
No,
make sure.
I ain't no fan. When I was going to the
Okay.
game, I wasn't going to the game as no fans. I ain't even asking for pictures. I wasn't no fan.
Anyway, I got Denver at 5. I got Denver.
So
I've had
Chill, who you got?
Denver.
So it's
You
a
got
2-2
Denver, Chip?
again. It's 2-2
Yes.
again.
I don't think
them
so.
at 6.
Well, it depends on
Yeah.
who John has.
He
Yeah,
said
'cause, you know,
OKC.
I'll leave
He
it.
said
at
don't
OKC.
lock it in.
No, do I want to leave it?
Oh.
I don't know yet. I know Jordan
John
got
is
whatever. OKC.
Is it between? Was it between OKC and Denver for you?
Yeah, it was between OKC and Denver.
So why do you think Denver's the better? Are you doing it? Denver's a better team in terms of if they matched up against each other, or Denver's just a better basketball team?
I trust Denver's offensive ceiling towards OKC's, but then what stumbles me on it is just OKC's defensive floor is way higher, and defensive ceiling is way higher. But with Jokic on the floor, you're always going to have like a top tier offense. But some of the stuff with OKC's inconsistent playmaking, inconsistent shooting, that can make it a game much harder to win for them. So part of me leans Denver because they were able to fix their playoff deficiencies on the defensive side while still having a really good offense. And then it's like OKC has had some inconsistencies offensively to where it's put them in trouble in multiple series this past postseason, whether it's against Denver and clutch opportunities against Denver. There were some games where they were pretty incompetent, and against Indiana, there were multiple games where offensively they were underwhelming. But then again, like when I look at like my versatility argument about which teams can throw out the more lineups, which team has the higher floor, which team has the smaller margin for error or the bigger margin for error, that all screams OKC, in my opinion. So yeah, I'll go Denver.
Oh, nice.
all right. Well, I'm still running a poll right now, chat. Who you guys believe is the better team? 23 Nuggets or the 25 this year's Oklahoma City Thunder? But in terms of our vote, it looks like the Nuggets will be coming in at 5th.
Damn.
I don't know how the Nuggets are seen as a better team than the Thunder personally, but
Because of Joker. That's why.
Joker. And
Because
he
with
was-
Joker.
and he was cooking shit.
Because when you, I understand, Mars, where you at with the defense and how superior it was, and we saw that their defense can be compromised. That 2023 Joker and how good he was offensively, just as a force. And
is
how
he the
much
best
could-
player here?
That's when I had him. Yeah, that's when I had him as the best player in the league at that time. So that's
Like
probably
so,
why.
of every player, every 2019.
He's talking about
we can-
23
we can
Jokic,
rank
21
players next.
Giannis.
I would love
Yeah,
to do that, bro.
is he the
Let's do
best? Is
that.
he the best player here?
23 Joker is better than 20
He
James.
3 at least. At
20
worst.
James is in this. Sure.
Yes, he is.
Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Ox
I
has
ain't gonna lie.
yes, he
Kawhi. Ox has Kawhi.
I ain't gonna lie. Jokic is the
I
best
know
player
Ox
out
will
of
Jokic
have
is better
to.
than
He has
20.
Kawhi.
Jokic is better than 19 Leonard.
Jokic
too.
is better than
Yes,
every
he is.
player that Jokic is better
He's
than
better
every
than
player
19
that's
Leonard.
in this.
100%.
That
But
Jokic is
Bron,
better than
we could get back to this. We could
But
definitely
wait,
get back to this.
about the teams though, about the teams. So let's get back to, so my thing is y'all put OKC 25 OKC over 23 Nuggets when 23 Nuggets is better than 25 Nuggets, and OKC had needed Aaron Gordon to tear his quad in half, and Michael Porter Jr. should not be able to lift his left shoulder to beat that team. So I
We
find
still,
it
even if they
hard-
was healthy,
I
we
find it
still
hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that this 25 Thunder team is better than the 23.
Well, first of all, we
That's
don't know
why I
even
said
if
it's
they-
more than matchups. Sorry, Joe. I think Denver could beat this 23 Denver could beat this OKC team in a series.
Sure.
Because of matchups. I think Denver's team compromises OKC's weaknesses more than OKC does Denver's weaknesses. But in terms of, and this is why I've said this before, and you guys disagree with me, so like we have different ideologies here. Beating a team in a series doesn't mean you're a better basketball team. I just think it means you're a better matchup for that team. I think Denver.
If I'm a better matchup, I'm better than you, Mars.
Yeah, that's why we disagree. Like, so
Mars, I understand your logic.
Yeah, I think
In this
OKC are a better
segment,
team.
now I understand your logic.
I think OKC are a better team than Denver, but I think Denver could beat OKC in a series. I also think OKC could beat them, but I think Denver are just a better match. I think the same thing for Denver versus the Celtics, by the way. I think Denver could beat Boston in a series, but I think Boston are a better team than Denver. So that's how I view it. I'm doing it differently personally.
Mars, if that's the logic, maybe you can straighten me out. If that's the logic, then how do you determine who's the best? Because if you run up on a bad matchup, because teams run up on bad matchups, but they're still able to win. Like, so how do we determine who the best team is if you're running up on a team and it's a bad matchup for you?
Well, I think it's all subjective. I mean, most people just say the team that wins the championship is the best team. But like for me, like it's all subjective. I don't think there's a way to determine the best team. I just think the way I determine the best team is which team has the least flaws and which team can't have their flaws exploited the most. And now that's all subjective. There's no way to unequivocally prove it. Sure. I just think the flaws that OKC have would be their ability to deal with size on the interior and then some of their offensive processing issues. Those would be their two biggest flaws. I think Denver are one of the teams that are best equipped to exploit that flaw. I think they could exploit that flaw better than a team like Boston could exploit that flaw. So, for example, I might have this OKC team beating Boston, but losing to Denver. But then I could have this Denver team losing to Boston, but beating OKC. So then based on that, like that triangle, that trifecta, which team's the best? Like which team in you guys' opinion would be the best? So Denver beat OKC, but lose to Boston. OKC beat Boston, but lose to Denver. Which team's the best?
That's what I'm saying, Moss, because I just look at it from a different lens. Because I just think that if I beat you 4 times in a week, I'm better than you, despite the matchup. And I understand your logic.
Yeah, but chill though. We're doing a list of 7 teams.
Just
because you beat one team on
you're better than them, but you're better than them, but you're not a better team. Like it doesn't.
No, I'm following
we gotta do like a round robin. We gotta do like a round robin.
But this also goes back, Moss. This also goes back to your logic. Does this tie in with your logic? I'm the best player because I'm better than number 2, and then number 2 is better than number 3, and I beat both of them. So I'm number 1.
Well, I think it's different with players because players aren't. It's not a one-on-one sport. So, like for me, if player A is better than player B, and player B is better than player C, player A, in my mind, has to be better than player C because these are individual players. But if it was tennis, for example, I don't know a lot about tennis, but what I do know is Rafa Nadal didn't lose on clay. So what I will use is him as an example.
Yes, he did.
Rafa Nadal on clay was the best, but then you put him on grass. Now Federer's better than him. So who's the better tennis player? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
In that the better players don't.
What it sounds like. What that sounds like, Mars, is that sounds like when I bring you to my building as opposed to your building, you lose when you're in my building, but when we get back to your building, you always win.
Yeah, that was my best way of trying to explain match. So Rafa Nadal can beat Federer on clay, but that same Rafa Nadal would then lose to Federer on grass. There's the same players playing against each other, but based on the matchups or based on the surroundings in tennis, it's a bit different. You could lose. It all comes down to your strengths and your weaknesses. Each team has strengths and weaknesses besides like the 2017 Warriors. So if you're a team with one weakness and your weakness is rebounding, that's the only, everything else you do at an elite level. You are an elite 3-point shooting team, elite transition defense, elite half-court defense. Yeah, you're an elite team at everything. Mm-hmm. But the one weakness you have is rebounding.
Miami.
And then you come up against a team that employs Andre Drummond, Josh Hart, Moses Malone, and Russell Westbrook. All of a sudden, you might lose to that team solely because they just have the best personnel ever to exploit your weakness. That does not mean that they are a better team than you, because you could beat the other 28 teams in the NBA.
Sure.
Meanwhile, they might lose to 15 of those other 28 teams. But when it comes to them against you, it's a bad matchup.
Right.
That's the best way I can explain.
Which does make sense, Moss. But when that matchup where you exploited this one thing that I am really bad at, for example, the Indiana Pacers, because Miami wasn't a great rebounding team, because they had Roy Hibbert, they had David West, but we were so good at everything else. On top of us being so good at everything else, we had this one guy who separated from everybody else, right? So in the process of us being able to, you exploiting this one thing that we have a problem with, and in addition to that, and us countering that with us being awesome at everything else better than you, and on top of that, we got this one guy that's better than you. That means, in my estimation, I've always felt like that makes us a better team. That's your job as a team, to exploit what we're not able to do. And when you're able to exploit that and we're able to counter that with the stuff that we're able to do better than you, I think that makes us a better team.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and move on. The chat also didn't have a vote, but you guys voted. And they are choosing, 53% are choosing the 23 Denver Nuggets over this year's Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's that. But in our list, the Nuggets are 5th. The Bucks are 6th. The Warriors are 7th. But we got to figure out who's 4th. We still have the 25 Thunder, the 24 Celtics, the 20 Lakers, and the 19 Raptors. Fellas, let's get to it. Big Ox, who you got out of these 4 teams?
Thunder.
As worst.
The Thunder.
Okay.
So we got left, Ron. We got the Thunder. We got one more time, Ron. I'm
The
sorry.
Lakers, the Thunder,
Thunder,
Lakers, Raptors,
Lakers, and
Thunder,
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics. That's it.
Yes, the 25 Thunder.
You have the Thunder, Chill?
Yes, sir.
I got the Thunder as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jordan, you have the Thunder too?
No, he has
He
the
got
Lakers.
the Lakers. He got the
I'm
Lakers.
just making sure, you know.
John D has the Thunder.
All right, well, that was pretty easy. OKC is next up at 4. All right, and then there was 3, y'all. We have the 24 Celtics, the 20 Lakers, and the 19 Raptors. I believe that we are in good position. I think these are probably the 3 best teams out of the 7.
Yeah, Celtics.
So let's get to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it gets tough. Like for me, I was comfortable 4 through 7. 4 through 7, I think I was comfortable. I knew I would have had OKC at 4, Denver at 5. I've now gone Milwaukee.
This is where it gets dicey because I'm thinking to myself,
I got the Celtics wrong.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, can the Raptors exploit what the Celtics in 2024? Can the Raptors exploit what the Celtics do more than the Celtics can exploit what Toronto does? Because
why are we talking about them two though? Why not get to the Mickey Mouse boys? Why are we talking about?
I think every team has a case to be 3rd. I think every team has a case.
Exactly.
Not the Raptors.
John D on me.
But
I think every team.
I got the Raptors 1 or 2, by the way, but
because I'm gonna be honest, I think this Raptors team, other than the Bucks, I think they're the worst offense. Maybe OKC, but like those are the 3 worst in my opinion. Raptors, Bucks.
I like the Raptors.
If you look at what the Celtics were doing in terms of like the long ball shooting, then they have like 4 guys make over 100 threes. I think the X factor with the Raptors, I mean, Kyle Lowry, I think he's the difference offensively. Like we could slow him down, and we're slowing him down. We could throw a monkey wrench in. You already think that they got a bad offense. If we could slow him down even more and force him into tougher shots, we throw a monkey wrench in everything that they do.
Who's forcing Kyle Lowry in the basket?
Oh yeah, are we assuming KP is healthy? By the way,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Are we assuming KP is there?
I'm giving him KP.
How many games did he play in the playoffs?
No, we're not giving him KP because we didn't give him OG Anunoby.
Well, OG didn't play a single minute. Dante DiVincenzo didn't play a single minute. KP played.
Okay. If we're doing that, then yes, because he was involved in the series.
Let's say
if KP's there, then I don't think they're 3rd. I'm just saying that.
Well, let's say it's a 7-game series against all 3 of these teams. 7 games against this team, 7 games against this team. Let's say they play 4 games, though you get KP for 2 of the 7.
I think that might be enough for them to not be 3rd. I don't know.
I think the Celtics beat them. I think the Celtics beat the Raptors in 6, 7. I think the Celtics beat the Raptors in 6 games.
See,
I think
Ron, do you know what Kawhi's doing to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
Kawhi do a crazy number on you.
2019, Kawhi Leonard is doing.
Kawhi's the best scorer there by a significant.
I'm not going to argue that point.
He's the best player there.
Yeah, I think Kawhi's the best player. Yeah, I think.
I'm not going to argue that point.
Significantly more. It's a huge gap.
Yeah, I think he's the best player in the series.
I'm with you.
That's hard. I'm not going
You want to make sure everybody knows.
I'm with you.
The gap
Don't worry.
is big. It's like a Grand Canyon size gap between Kawhi and the next player.
But what do you do? Because the Celtics spacing is, I guess, the elephant in the room. What do you do about Serge and Marc Gasol and their viability defensively against the spacing?
Serge ain't a problem with that spacing.
With
Marc
that
Gasol?
spacing,
Marc Gasol.
Serge ain't a problem. Serge ain't a problem.
and with that pace, the Celtics didn't play fast. They weren't the Indiana Pacers doing this. But I mean, that's stop and pop, finding guys at the long ball line, at the break, the amount of space that they created when the ball was moving. And on top of that, Kawhi Leonard was hobbled in the playoffs too, Ox. Let's not leave that part out.
Hobbled
Kawhi is still better than everyone busting.
I'm not going to argue that, but the reason why I brought up hobbled is because I'm thinking about the amount of space that he's going to have to cover in the half court with this Boston Celtic team, and how much more open it is, because that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case when he was running. That wasn't the case when he was doing that with Golden State. He had to cover some space, but with this Boston Celtic team and the amount of threes that they were shooting, I think it's different, way different.
And then, like, see, Chill, you said that Serge thing, and now people in the chat who wasn't even thinking about Serge and probably forgot Serge was on the team, now they're all talking about, are you serious, Ox? That Serge? Old Serge was what, 30 years old? 20,
Allegedly.
Yeah. Ox, the way you feel about guys like Serge, he went
Okay, so Serge was 33. All right, he was still in his prime. Like Serge was still moving really good. Serge wasn't
2019.
old.
Serge was 29 years old.
Okay, so it was 37. He was, that's fine. Nah, but 29.
Pascal.
Serge. That's right. Serge and Pascal, they were moving. Like specifically, Serge was moving fine.
He was still in his prime.
He wasn't slow or anything.
Yeah,
like
prime.
that.
Still in his prime. Yes.
Yeah, prime.
Mm-hmm.
Serge was still good, but like, I don't know. I feel Kawhi obviously is the best player in the series. I think that goes without saying.
Yep.
In that hypothetical series, Kawhi would be guarding Jrue Holiday. That's who he'd be guarding.
You think so?
Right. Yes. They have Kawhi. Because they'd use
Pascal Siakam would deal with Jason Tatum.
Pascal would be on Jason Tatum.
Pascal Siakam would deal with Jason Tatum.
Marc Gasol would be on Porzingis, but it's a lot of drop, pick and pop stuff, rotations, and all that stuff. Danny Green would be on Jaylen Brown.
I think Al Horford eating in this series. I do. I think Al Horford is going to eat in this series.
Me too. Yes, Al Horford's going to eat all this.
Mm-hmm. It's just they have shooters at every spot. Like in theory, so did the Raptors. Like Mark could shoot, Kawhi could obviously shoot, Pascal could make shots, Kyle Lowry and Danny Green were shooters, Fred VanVleet off the bench, Norman Powell off the bench. Damn, the Raptors were good as hell. Oh my god,
good as hell.
That's why they wanted to. And
they beating the Celtics down.
Nah, I'm still not that high on the offense, but like, God,
they only got 61 games from Leonard that year. 60 games. That's it. 61 games.
Offense
Go back and watch some.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I might have
Pascal, get that joint off the rim and just play. They just play. Kawhi wasn't even like. It wasn't like just get a ball to Kawhi and everybody watch out. It was like give it to Pascal.
I think the Lakers might be third.
I think so too.
The Lakers might be third.
I might be there.
Now y'all see me with this Mickey Mouse shit.
Jordan is not no Mickey Mouse shit though. That's not why. It's not no Mickey Mouse shit. It's just that these other two teams are so damn good.
But okay,
I got Celtics as third. I got Celtics third on my vote.
I might have to be completely honest. I got the Celtics at third too. I got the Celtics at 3 too.
I might have the Lakers at third.
All right, so Jordan and Ox, are you guys set with the Celtics at third?
Now me and Diesel got the Celtics.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm about to get up. I'm about to get out of here. My top 3 is Raptors, Lakers, Celtics. That's my top 3.
Raptors 1.
Cook Diesel.
Raptors 1, Celtics 2, Lakers 3.
Cook
That's
Diesel.
My entire list is Raptors, Celtics, Lakers, Thunder, Nuggets, Bucks, Warriors. That's my 7.
I like that. Solid list, Diesel.
Peace and love.
Later, y'all.
All right, John.
All right, bro.
But that Lakers team was so
what's this?
versatile.
Even Mars, to your point about Toronto, with the rotation guys they got with Fred VanVleet, who was awesome, also coming off the bench, right? What's the separator with this Toronto team and this Boston Celtic team. Where is the separator here? Because when I think about the Lakers,
I can't find it.
when I think about the
Kawhi
Lakers,
Leonard.
because you talking about Kawhi Leonard, what's the separator between the Lakers? What's the separator between the Lakers and Toronto? And I dare you to say Kawhi Leonard and James. I dare you.
Kawhi Leonard.
It's not.
I dare you.
Hey, Ox, it's not.
Well,
dare
okay.
you.
First of all,
Come on,
hold on. What does that got to do with the Celtics?
Yeah, my argument
You
against
can't be. I can't be doing the Celtics. Then you just throw LeBron at me. LeBron don't wear.
my
green.
argument for the Raptors
say
over
Jason
Boston. My
Tatum.
argument for the Raptors over Boston would be their bench, not Kawhi. That would be my argument. But that I'm gonna be honest, I don't know because that Lakers team was so
good,
versatile.
yo.
They
Going on
they
some bullshit with this Lakers team.
really
They had a
good.
good
they went double big with AD and Dwight, AD and JaVale, whichever one they wanted to start.
Yes,
Then they
sir.
played Houston and went AD at the 5 and didn't even play Dwight the whole time.
And who was at the 4, Morris?
Bron, Kyle Kuzma.
Woo! Hey, you talk about versatility. I'm
And then
running
they were playing
my
fast.
point guard is basically playing a 4.
Yes.
Come
Yeah, because
on,
they
y'all.
went that starting 5 in the play because that 5th spot was like it was a bunch of alternates. It was their starting 5 was Danny Green, KCP, Bron, and AD, and then that 5th spot changed based on the series.
And they don't have Avery Bradley.
Yeah,
Nah,
he ain't playing the bubble. So like that, they started JaVale sometimes. They started Dwight sometimes. I remember they started Caruso in one of the games in the finals. They started Markieff Morris at some point.
Yeah.
Like they could that 5th spot was just up for grabs. Whoever wanted to play, and then like Kyle Kuzma was like their consistent 6th man.
Yeah. And Ron, don't leave out that your point
They
guard
had
that moves to the
Rondo.
4 spot.
Yeah, forgot about
Your point guard that moves to the 4 spot. He's an elite distributor too. You get an elite distribution from him.
Let the
So
Lakers
you get
assist
the
that
whole-
year.
You're getting a whole bunch of other things from him, and you get an elite defense from Anthony Davis. You get an elite rim protection from JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard in limited time.
Hey,
Damn, that
for
Laker
real?
team was good,
Bro,
Joe.
Braun might for real be the best player out of all 7 of these
Yeah,
teams.
Ox, you might want to cover your ears for what I'm about to say.
That's okay.
The Lakers have the 2 best players left, in my opinion.
Damn, no respect to Kawhi.
Anthony Davis and Anthony
The
Davis.
Lakers have
respect
the
for Kawhi.
I told you might want to cover your ears. The Lakers have the 2 best players
That's
left.
so
in my
crazy.
Based on, what are you
That's
basing
so
that on,
crazy.
Mars? You looking at both Anthony Davis and James, and you got Kawhi Leonard over here. Why are these two dudes? better
Jason
than Lakers?
Tatum's there too. Come on, Jason.
No, he ain't in this conversation. No, he is not. Mm-mm. No, you know me. I'm a Jason Tatum.
I think AD at that point was the best defender in the sport. I think he showed that throughout the regular season, particularly in the playoffs. I think this is the AD that was shooting ridiculous from mid-range. I don't know what his actual number was, like damn near 50% from mid-range. During the Western Conference run, first round, second round, third round, I think he was the Lakers' best player during that postseason run. I think, once again, providing the elite defense, providing the elite scoring, being one of the best off-ball players in the NBA at that point in time, while being able to score in a face-up game, being able to make the mid-range jump shots, being one of the best finishers at the rim in the NBA. This was the playoff run where he was shooting damn near 40% from 3. AD had no holes in his game as a scorer. He could play on the ball, he could play off the ball, he could post you, he could face up, he could make jump shots from 3 and from mid-range. He was damn near the best finisher in the league, Giannis notwithstanding. Elite lob threat, while being the best rim protector in the league, having extreme coverage versatility on defense. He could play high and pick and roll, he could switch, he could play drop, he could be a roamer, he could do whatever you want on defense. He was game breaking. That AD, in my opinion, was a top 3 player on the planet. That AD, in my opinion, is one of the 2 best players left. I'm
Mars,
ridiculously high.
and I want you to stay
on
with
AD.
your soliloquy, Mars. Just so you know, AD from 3 to 10 feet, he was shooting 54%. From 16 feet to the long ball line, he was shooting 55%. And from 10 to 16 feet, he was shooting 40%. For the playoffs. That didn't include the finals. That's for the whole playoffs. That's what he was doing.
AD was good, man.
He was damn good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I understand. I know that's a hot take. Kawhi, obviously, like, there's going to be Kawhi led his team to the championship. Kawhi's also Kawhi. Like, let's make that abundantly clear. I think Kawhi's a better scorer than Anthony Davis at this point, by the way. Kawhi might have been the best scorer in the league, not named Kevin Durant. So I'm very high on Kawhi. But I just think the defensive value of Anthony Davis, the off-ball stuff of Anthony Davis, I still don't think Kawhi was a very good passer at this point. So, like, you kind of were just, like, he was, like, the maximally valuable scorer. Like, as valuable as you could be as a scorer, I think was Kawhi. But I think the playmaking lacked, some of the off-ball stuff lacked, and he wasn't as good of a defender as AD at this point. I got AD. Yeah, I got AD. I understand that's a hot take. I understand just like I'm not expecting everyone.
I don't think that's a crazy hot take, Mars. AD was net. Like 2020 AD was dope. I don't think that's a hot take or a bad take at all. I can see where you're coming from with that. AD was really good.
I got Kawhi, but the thing about it is, with Anthony Davis being as good as he is, keep in mind he gets like when you buy a car and you get the turbo that you get to put into it. So it's already a fast ass car, and then you add some turbo into it. That was Bron. Like Anthony Davis gets so much better just because Bron is there with what he does. So it's like I got super
Bron
AD
was
now.
spoon feeding him.
I got AD on steroids now.
You gotta remember around that time too. So maybe not that year, but like the
Rondo
next year,
too.
like 21. There was a lot of times where I seen where they were playing each other, where the Clippers would be playing the Lakers or something. And if y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember this, there would be stretches where AD was guarding Kawhi and like kind of locking him though. I'm just gonna whisper.
I remember a little bit.
There was a lot of that going on.
I remember a little bit, but then Kawhi eyes turned into like Terminator eyes in the playoffs.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
That shit was something special. That shit was some shit you'd never seen before. So
but I think AD was one of the only people I've seen really like for multiple possessions. And I'm not saying for the whole game, obviously, and I'm not saying not just one possession, but there was multiple possessions where I seen AD really sitting down on Kawhi. Like Kawhi wasn't getting nothing.
I didn't know AD could shoot it that well until I saw him in the playoffs. I did not know that he had that in his game that consistently. I was amazed by that.
I don't think he can. I think he just got hot at the right time.
I was like, oh, he looked like Rasheed Wallace or Malone. I was like, I didn't know he had that mid-range in his game like that. Killing.
Yeah, I haven't seen him replicate it since, but it was a great time.
I asked the chat who's the best remaining team.
Game in Dallas. Respect his games in Dallas.
Shout out to AD, man.
I asked the chat who's the best remaining team here, and 39% of y'all chose the Lakers. But fellas, let's get back to it. Ox, I know you chose the Celtics as number 3. John chose the Celtics at number 3 before he left. Jordan, I'm assuming you're still with the Lakers as the worst team here.
And yeah, man, I just have to. Like, I'm gonna just stick to my guns.
Well, before we move on, Jonathan Fraser sent through a super chat and said Jordan put the Lakers at 7 and didn't give one basketball reason as to why they are 7. But if Houston wins that ring, he wouldn't have the same energy.
Jonathan Fraser, let me tell you something. I don't have to explain shit to you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Let's move on, Ron. I gave my reason, and my reason is my reason.
All right, for sure. Jalen Mars, who's the third team?
Toronto.
Toronto?
Oh, I can't see that.
I'm sorry, I said Boston. I'm sorry, I meant Boston. I apologize.
Okay.
No, chill. Stay on Toronto. Don't let him peer pressure you.
No, I'm not getting peer pressure. No.
Okay.
I'm
just making sure ain't no cyberbullying going on for Mars.
No, we're not doing that. I don't get bullied.
Okay,
I don't.
All right.
You hear that? Y'all hear that out there? You trying to cyberbully somebody? Hey, you gonna have a tall task trying to cyberbully. Chill. You better pick on Ox or something. I told him he was just the next person in line. Mars, who you got?
The Celtics were the best regular season team, and I said I'm factoring that in. But Jason Tatum played like trash.
I was just about to say he was about to go
like comparatively. Like Jason Tatum was just like so far below these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go Boston at 3. Reluctant.
Yeah, I think that's actually like when you really think it through and work through everything. I think that's the only like that's only right.
My thought process is, I think Boston were good enough to win the championship with Jason Tatum playing how he did in their playoff run. I don't think they would have been good enough to win the championship if Jason Tatum played the way he did against these teams. So that's the best way I can rationalize it. And that's not to dismiss their run. I still respect their championship. They were a dominant team, and they were able to win despite Jason Tatum's shortcomings because of how good they were. But when we're comparing these teams to those teams, the lack of consistency from Jason Tatum, I do think holds them back from being in they're still in this conversation, but I think it holds them back from winning the conversation.
And it goes back to my original logic, which I do my best to stay consistent on it as I can. If I'm putting the Raptors and the Celtics together, to Ox's point, my best player better than your best player, and he outplays him in that series. And I
also
think
don't forget about just Jason Tatum too. The second best player, Jaylen Brown, he was very inconsistent too. So it's like we've seen games where the Celtics, both of them don't show up. Mm-hmm. It's Jrue Holiday, Derek White, and Kristaps Porzingis, and Sam Hauser might come in and hit 4 threes, and that's how they end up beating the team. So it's like I might get a game where both of these two don't show up. It's going to be very rare that I get a game where Bron and AD both don't show up, or where Kawhi and I don't know, you can say Pascal or Kyle Lowry just both don't show up. So,
I think it's also interesting too. Like we talking about championship teams. Olajuwon held Ewing under 40% in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about.
Patrick Ewing's supposed to be one of the most overrated big men, though. But,
overrated. I think Patrick Ewing is underrated.
I think he's overrated, but okay.
Where do people rate it?
Too high. I don't know. Shit.
The reason why I brought that up is because I think about, Jason Tatum, his ability to shoot and how bad he was as a shooter. And I think about, Ewing playing closer to the basket during that time. And none of us said anything about Ewing shooting under 40% for the series. Yeah, none of us said that. We didn't, there was not a word. It was just Olajuwon was better than him. That was it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the idea of now we talk about numbers and we talk about how bad Jason Tatum was in terms of being a shooter in the playoffs. Like that would have gone by the wayside considering he had 30 and 10, 30 and 11, 27 and 12. Like that stuff would have went away. Like we wouldn't have thought about that.
All right, y'all. Well, it looks like Arch was right because he said the 2019 Raptors is top 1 or 2 at least. So we have 2 teams remaining. We have the 2019 Raptors and we have the 2020 Lakers. If only Kawhi would have stayed, we might have been able to see this.
Say it, Jordan. Say it, Jay.
Mickey Mouse ass.
Say it, Jay.
I'm gonna come on the episode with my Mickey Mouse ears the next time since we celebrate that shit. Motherfucker didn't even have no parade, and y'all gonna have this championship.
That was some bullshit, Jay. By the way, that was some bullshit.
It had everybody in the crisis thinking about their family, and y'all talking about their championship is real. Motherfucker couldn't even focus.
So talk to me, fellas. I know we're Jordan, but Ox, Mars, Chill, who y'all got?
I think it was.
I'm with Jordan.
For the same reasons?
No.
Ox, you can do it, Ox. Ox, you can do it. The same reasons.
Not for the same reasons, because I respect basketball anywhere it's played.
I respect it too, but goddamn, I gotta think about the goddamn riots going on. I gotta think about the
what I'm worried about some riots if I'm here. What the riots
exactly, but I'm saying everybody else is like panicking and shit. You gotta have a free mind. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's my thing. I think because, I mean, with all due respect, because I know people passed away, of course. You know what I'm saying, but like at that time, I wasn't tripping. You know what I'm saying, so I didn't really see. I wasn't really thinking about it that way. You know what I'm saying. I ain't really.
What was you doing at that time?
Bro, I was at. You was right there with me, so you
know
with me. But once again, though, I'm not trying to make light of it at all.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
You was right there with him, bro.
There was a pandemic going on. It was very serious. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of where my mind was at the time, I do respect what was happening, and I know everybody didn't look at it the same way I did, but just because of that, Jordan, is why I don't see it that way. I still thought it was good basketball, and also some of the best basketball I've ever seen has been at 1 a.m, midnight in a locked junior college gym or a locked high school gym, and you know what I'm saying, where we just got the keys and we were able to pull up. So I don't care if it's fans or not. I don't care. I don't trip. The fans ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? What's on the court. So I think that was still really good basketball, but I still think that Raptors team was better, and I'm gonna go with them.
I lost my uncle to COVID.
Right. So and that's what I'm saying too. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. RIP to anybody that lost their life. That's never nothing to play about. But my mind just wasn't at that place.
I think, Ron, the separation with the Lakers was just the versatility. We had guys that could do a number of different things. I felt like that Toronto team offensively, they had limitations. When you got James on your crew, there aren't many limitations when he is as good as he is as a bucket getter, as a distributor, as a downhill guy, cracking the long ball. When you got Anthony Davis shooting the way he was shooting throughout the course of that playoffs, that makes us so much better. And on top of that, transition players like Kyle Kuzma, and I know this sounds ridiculous because I know what you guys see today with Kyle Kuzma, but to have a guy like Kyle Kuzma filling the lane, I know I was, like I said about Joker and Giannis when I had to come off that, in 2020, I was like, yo, am I looking at James Worthy all over again? And then I came off that real quick. I 100% came off of that real quick. But he looked as a transition player like he was going to be awesome. Because remember, this was 2019, 2020. I want to say this was year 3 for him. He was a kid. He had just gotten the league. And Alex Caruso was the viable knockdown shooter that he was. And the rotation players that they had where they just stifled teams in the paint. I just think that's where the separator was, the versatility. We can play however you want to play, Ox. You want to play fast, we can do that. You want to play slow, you want to play on the box, you want to play one-on-one, anything that you want to do, we can do it. And I think that we can take your guys out of the game more than you can take our guy. We can take Kyle Lowry out of this series. I think we could shut the door on him. Yes.
So, Chill, you got the Raptors or the Lakers number 1.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mars. Talk to the people.
It's not as easy as you think.
2019 Raptors,
Mars think box is
2020
working
Lakers.
because Mars is thinking about what they were. So it's not as easy. It's not as clear cut.
You can't ask the chat, Ron. The Laker media.
I've hated
every.
every second of this top 3. Like 4 through 7 was like relatively easy. I know we discussed Bucks Warriors for like 15 minutes, but like, God damn.
You sound like Mars. It sound like you don't lose either way. Like
This was
Yeah,
tough,
like
bro.
I don't know who the better team is. Someone said Bron owns the Raptors. That's not a bad point.
That's actually true.
I didn't even think about it.
You know what? I got to change my.
Ox, don't do that. Stay where you at. Come on, man. Stop letting Mars cyberbully you. Mars is
Me, I just said someone said it. I said someone said it.
It's not about Mars cyberbullying me. It's about LeBron James bullying a whole city.
Country.
Damn.
It's
Wait, so
it's not LeBron.
Are you
it's
actually
LeBron
changing your
though.
pick? Are you actually changing
No,
your pick?
hell no.
Okay, so
No,
2
no.
for the Raptors, and then Chill's got the Lakers number 1, right?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
So if I pick the Lakers, it will tie it up.
Yeah.
And
And I'll go to the chat, and the chat will pick the Lakers.
Yes, because the Laker media cartel is alive. and
Ron, are you gonna break the tie then? Since we know the chat's just gonna pick the Lakers regardless.
I could break the tie.
All right, so I'll
I
go with
could
the
do
Lakers
that.
then. I'll go with the Lakers.
I trust the chat more than Ron.
If he picks the same answer, what difference if they both gonna pick the Lakers then?
This one is so tough, yo. It really is. I do think. I don't think Pascal was quite ready yet. And I think when the Lakers go to that 4-5 lineup of AD and Braun picking on Pascal.
Kawhi,
Even though I mean,
assignment in the fourth.
Kawhi would.
Pascal
Did Giannis pick on Pascal?
That's what I'm saying.
Did
Did
Giannis
Embiid pick
pick
on
on
him?
him,
Did Embiid
What
pick on him?
did Kawhi say after
Well,
game
he
2?
couldn't bully Marc Gasol. So.
I don't care what he said.
What did Kawhi say after game 2? Kawhi said, "I got."
Yeah. He said, I go Giannis. Just make sure this wall is behind me. Hey,
yeah.
I go Giannis, but make sure all 4 of you are right behind me. Because I know I'm gonna get beat right now.
Of them,
but I'm
Mark.
gonna guard
It
him.
wasn't
I'm gonna
4 of
guard him.
them.
But just make sure you guys are behind me. That's what happens.
Either way, if they walk down Giannis, they could walk down Braun. Yeah, Mars. Yeah.
The 20 Lakers
That
are way
makes
better
sense.
than the 19 Bucks. Like way.
That's not the point. It's about Giannis and how he got walked in, and Joel Embiid and
He
how
was
he
on
got
the
walked
Bucks
in.
team. He was on the Bucks team, so you know.
All right, forget about Giannis. Joel got walked down too.
He had flu.
Take my ass to bed. I just woke up. Boys, what you talking about?
Initially coming into this, I had the Raptors. I really didn't have the Lakers that high. But after talking through everything, Caruso, we haven't even brought up KCP's name as much as I think we should. Kuzma was crazy. Rondo.
Now Kuz was crazy. After I hear how y'all talk about
Kuz was
Well, now he sucks. Now he
during that
sucks.
run, Kuz was balling during that run.
Kuz was cool.
Yes.
Kuz
I think the Lakers have the worst depth of any of these teams.
But Kuz
Terrible
might shit
depth.
the bed
No
against
depth.
that Warriors.
I
Against
ain't
that,
say no depth. They have some
Kuz
nice
might
centers.
shit the bed against that Raptors team. So
Ron, you hyping
much
up this Mickey Mouse ring?
Exactly.
Now remember, Mars. We talking about 2020. We ain't talking about today. So like Caruso and Kuzma and Morris and Rondo and JaVale McGee, like that's their rotation during that time. Which is
comparatively, it's not as good. Like it's good, but compared to the Raptors, it's not as good. Compared to Boston, I don't think it's as good. Compared to OKC, I don't think it's as good. But they're just their top two is really, really good.
I'm just saying, though, we wouldn't even be talking about this Lakers team in this situation if Goran and Bam don't get hurt. So let's remember that too.
If KD and Clay ain't got hurt,
the Raptors still win.
We already been over this.
All right, buddy.
No, the dude who was on the championship team told us. What are you talking about, us?
Yeah, well, maybe
I don't care what that nigga said.
Of course, then why you asking?
What?
Why you asking, man?
Because
the reason why you asked because you was trying to get confirmation on what you thought.
No, I knew what he was going to say. I knew what he was going to say. He was on the team. I asked for the content. I asked him so he could, you know what I'm saying, just to see what he would say. You know what I'm saying?
And if he would have said that they still do it,
that would have been a great. He couldn't say that, Chill. I know he wasn't going to say that. He's not allowed to say that. He know the truth. When Quinn come back up here, we're going to talk about it.
He going to be here next week. So when he comes up here, we'll talk about the 2020 Lakers versus the 2019 Raptors. But y'all, I have made my decision after thinking everything through. Kawhi Leonard was just on a different planet, y'all.
That's what I said.
Kawhi was on a different mission.
So then what planet was LeBron James on?
Please let us know.
Mickey Mouse, what the hell y'all think?
Disney World. Disney World. Literally,
what planet was he? What?
Kawhi was on a different planet.
They got their Disneyland. What the hell?
The only team that I was worried about that postseason was the Clippers. I didn't like that matchup at all. I just didn't. That was the only matchup that I was worried about. I was like, everybody else, they can beat them. Everybody.
Yeah, if Russ was healthy, I think the Rockets could have done so.
But y'all, I'm going with the 2020 Lakers. I can't just after thinking it through, I can't see the Raptors beating this team, y'all. I just can't.
Whatever.
They don't have an answer for AD. They don't have an answer for Bron. They could go to Dwight. They can go to JaVale. They could, how Chill was saying, they could downsize. Raptors wasn't doing all of that. They have versatility. I mean, so what? They'll put Pascal at the 5?
You can put Serge at the 5.
You got Serge. You got Marcus Gasol. You can put Serge.
You can put Serge at the 5. You could go bigger with
not
Serge.
A small
Pascal.
ball 5 though. He stretches. He can stretch it, but it's not like I'm not giving you small ball vibes. Where AD is, I can do everything. I can guard one through 5. I can stretch the floor. I can attack off the dribble. I can get in the post. I can run the floor. Like Serge does some of those things. But
Serge was banging that corner 3.
Yeah, but once again, it's not.
Shout out to Serge, man. 24% from 3 in the playoffs.
Marc Gasol.
I don't care about the percentage.
Stomping. Marc Gasol is stomping AD. Stomping him.
Marc Gasol was on the Lakers the next year. He's seen the vision.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, stomping AD.
Stomping AD in what? That AD?
Stopping that little fade bullshit AD was doing in Mickey Mouse Land.
Out of here. Hell no.
Marc Gasol is putting all the cotton candy up for AD. That shit over with.
No
all
way.
The shoot for the toys and all of this stuff and wear my party hat. No.
All right, y'all. Well, this is what it looks like with our last 7 champions. We got the 2020 Lakers at 1, the 2019 Raptors at 2, the 2024 Boston Celtics at 3, the 2025 Oklahoma City Thunder at 4, the 2023 Denver Nuggets at 5, the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks at 6, and then we have the Golden State Warriors 2022 at 7.
I might just agree with that order.
Reluctantly, but yes. Because the top 3.
I think the bottom 4. I think the bottom 4 is perfect, personally. But I gave my thinking. I think that's the perfect bottom 4. And then the top 3, I don't know.
Yeah, I think 4, 5, and 6 are just a little mixed up. But that's okay.
Well, shout out to the last 7 champions. It's going to be interesting to see who wins it next year. But as of right now, y'all, we got super chat, so let's make it happen. My man Hunter just sent through a super chat. He said, out of these 7 teams, who do you guys think are the 10 best players between the teams?
Jokic, Giannis. This isn't in order, by the way. Jokic, Giannis, Bron, AD, Kawhi. I think those are the 5.
That's easy.
That's the top 5.
Yeah, well, Steph is still in the round there.
Oh,
Steph, Shea.
Is 22 Curry better than 25?
Shea?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No.
Is he better than 19 Kawhi?
It's 22 Steph better than 19 Kawhi?
Yeah.
No. Nope.
I wouldn't say so.
So those are the top 5 solidified.
Well, no.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with that, but
I was like, why you?
I don't know. Shea might be top 5. I don't know. I don't know. I forgot. I lost where I was.
We had 7. That was Curry, SGA. We had 7.
Don't think you said Jay. You didn't say Jason Tatum.
Yeah. So Steph, Shea, Bron, AD, Kawhi,
Jokic,
Giannis, Jokic. That's the 7. Jason Tatum would be 8.
Jason Tatum.
damn, how we get to 8? We're supposed to be 7. Are we doing top 10?
Top 10 players.
Yeah.
Top 10 players.
okay. I'm about to say
from the 17.
8 would be Jason Tatum.
Okay.
And then
no Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown. That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to think if Jaylen Brown's the next name. So the
No
Lakers don't
Pascal?
have the Lakers don't have anyone.
Nope.
No Pascal?
The rap. I'm not putting a Kyle Lowry, Pascal. I don't think.
It's Jaylen Brown. He's the next best player.
Jaylen Brown, and also J Dub too.
Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown's better than Chris Middleton. I'm just asking. I'm not saying wrong or right.
Nope.
Jaylen Brown's better than Chris Middleton.
Nope. Can't give you that one. Nope.
Hey, because when we talk about that run,
Chris Middleton,
Nope.
nice
Chris
as hell.
We gotta put Chris Middleton and Jaylen Brown.
Well, I was about to ask you, was Chris
Middleton
Middleton was J Dub better than Chris Middleton?
Nope.
I think J Dub's better than Jaylen Brown.
Yep. I will go with that one, Mars, but I'm not going. I'm not
I
going.
think it's all 3 of them. It's
Jamal Murray.
Oh, I forgot about Jamal. Man, you crazy. Jamal was
What
on
he
a
did in
hell
the
of a run.
playoffs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was awesome.
Shit.
I'm just curious because what he did in the playoffs, he was better than Middleton.
And he made it over to the West Finals.
No, they made it to the final.
Jamal Murray was going crazy in them playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. After the 8, so basically after the
Jamal Murray's better than Jaylen Brown.
top
in
5
the
guys.
Yeah, Jamal Murray is
And
better than
Middleton.
Jaylen Brown. Yes, he
And
is.
Middleton.
No, sir.
That
Jamal
Jamal Murray that
was
was
going
32 and
crazy.
wasn't he 32 and 7 in the finals? Something like
in
that.
the conference
In the conference
finals,
finals against the
in the
Lakers,
finals, he
32 and
averaged
7?
like 20 and 10 or something. 25.
Walking double. Middleton and J
Yeah,
Dub
I mean,
is where I'm because I don't think guys like Andrew Wiggins, I don't think they in this conversation. No, I don't think so.
Gee, Andrew Wiggins had a hell of a finals.
Shout out to him. Yeah, I'd probably go Jamal Murray and J Dub based on the postseason run. Based on actual players, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just stop at 8.
Jaylen Brown in those playoffs was scoring and taking the best matchups too on the defensive end.
I got Jaylen Brown at 9 and J Dub at 10.
Well, Jrue took some of those assignments too, but yeah, I don't know. I got 8. I'm sorry, I can go to 8.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Ron. Jaylen Brown and J Dub, they in there.
All right, y'all. All dubs, no L's. Sent through a members chat and said, appreciate y'all boys for the great content and laughs for the past 2 years I've been watching. Knock 3 hours off my 11-hour driving. Keep going.
That's what we're here for. We here for you.
11-hour
Like,
driving,
dudes like you.
okay.
That's what we here for. Yep. Like when you
I'm
turn on
here,
your
I'm here
radio
for the
or-
check, but I mean, I guess.
We already know
That's
the type of
nasty.
scumbag Mars. I'm sorry, Dubs. We know who
That's
you
Mars.
already know the
Mars,
type of
that's
scumbag
nasty.
Mars is. So
I'm gonna just be real. I don't get paid to do this. I'm here for the love.
I usually don't do this.
Yeah,
Mars-
I take your paycheck too.
Mars
Yeah,
knew
I don't
exactly
get
by
paid for
saying that who he was gonna fire up with that. Like that was a direct shot, not at the chat, not at nobody up here, or not at everybody up here, at one person. And chill, you bit the bait.
I 100% took it. Yes, I did. But I know Mars is a scumbag though. So I mean, what can I say? What can I say?
All right, y'all. Sauceman Bandit 72 said, "What does my Grizzlies need to do realistically?"
What are they trying to achieve?
Trade Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant. Shit, we'll take Ja Morant in Houston.
Jay said, and I gave him some pushback. He had them getting
Mars,
mopped
don't you
in the
give me that
playoffs.
face?
He did. Jordan had Memphis getting mopped in the playoffs. I
Yeah.
ain't see them drop into the 7 seed or the 8 seed. I ain't
You
see
ain't
that.
see an MVP candidate, Jaren Jackson, getting
Oh
cooked.
my
Bruh.
goodness! I ain't see them
When
drop.
they
into
was
the-
playing at their best, I told y'all 4-0.
You had them getting smoked in the playoffs. You did.
No, not only
when
smoked, I had them
Ja
4-0.
figured out the playoffs, all of a sudden,
That's getting smoked. 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
it depends what they're
Ja
trying to
Morant.
do. I don't know.
Send Ja Morant to Houston. We can make that swap between him and Van Vliet. That'd be a hell of a backcourt. Ja Morant, Amin, KD.
I seen John Morant to Toronto.
Man, hell no, Ja ain't going to the north. It's
I
too
seen
cold.
Toronto. I seen Toronto's name in every single.
yeah, they've been
Cause
linked.
y'all, that's because y'all
Jordan, what you
gotta
mean it's cold?
unfollow
You-
Penn. That's why.
I didn't see it from Penn. I didn't see it from Penn. But Jordan, my thing about the weather and where you live, it's like when you rich, I can be anywhere. I'm rich. I ain't cold.
Yeah, the Heat still working the house ox.
Did Stephon
You know what I'm
Marbury
saying?
subscribe to that?
No, he didn't. And that was some
Oh,
bullshit.
that ain't even- bald head.
But
bastard.
he did go to Jersey where it's cold too, though, by the way. And he's close to
Freezing.
Man,
It's freezing
yeah,
out
it
there.
ain't-
I've been
it ain't as
in
cold.
Jersey I've been in Jersey in 4-degree weather. It's freezing out
Shit,
there.
it ain't as cold as
Yeah.
goddamn it ain't as cold as goddamn Toronto though. God damn.
So if you look at
Jordan,
if you
when
look
you
at,
rich, you not cold. I got everything I need.
Shit, them
Layer
taxes,
up.
them-
You be
shit,
all right.
Hey, but the taxes in Toronto make it even worse. You get to be snuggled up looking at your bank account like, damn, y'all taking how much? I mean, damn, I'm not even kidding.
what happened to Memphis? Because again, I mean, if you look at
You
if you look
paying
at their
taxes
start,
in another country, Ox?
if you look at their starting five, right? So you're moving KCP to the starting five. So you got Ja, KC, you got Luke Kennard, you got Triple J.
It's probably gonna be the what's the
I
one
think-
tall dude?
I think
Aldama?
Yeah, Aldama.
is it?
Oh,
Because I
it's
think
gonna be him or Gigi
I
Jackson.
think
It's gonna-
that's
it's
what I was
gonna be
thinking. Ron.
Jalen
I'm
Wells.
thinking.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm tripping.
Is it going to be Jalen Wells? Is he going to
I
battle?
see.
Is he going to battle GG for that 3 spot?
I don't know. Gigi sucked last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that was because of the injury.
He
Mars,
said
to
he
be
gonna
honest
get
with you. I
better,
think he
though.
was. I think he was
GG
recovering.
said
I'd
he gonna get
hope. I'd
Yeah,
hope, but
I
I
think he
think
was
Jalen
recovering.
Wells has shown. I think Jalen Wells has earned that spot until Gigi can take it. I don't
GG
thi-
said he gonna get so much better next year, man.
I hope so.
So let's
Yeah,
put
I
G.
hope
So let's put Jalen Wells in that 3 spot, and let's put GG as a rotation guy. But then you got Brandon Clark, then you got Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard. And then I think that they need some luck. To be quite honest with you, I think that they need some things to go their way, like avoid Oklahoma City in round 1. That might be a good idea. That
They
might
would
be
have
a
lost
good
to
idea.
Houston too. But
Memphis
would've
just
swept
got
them,
worse.
All right, y'all. We gonna keep it pushing though. NY Breezy sent through a members chat. It said Jrue to Dallas would be nice. Jrue and AD reunion.
damn, what's that?
I
7
love
years
it. I
later.
love that.
That would be nice though.
That would be
I
fire.
love it.
Shout out to Jonathan Frazier. He became a YouTube member. Ridge Maddock also sent through a members chat and said, as a Lakers fan, we are cooked until he retires. Who is
You
he?
talking about Braun?
Yep. I've been telling y'all, trade Braun or he need to retire.
Over there taking up all the money.
Braun got a no trade clause?
No.
Basically.
Oh shit, I would trade it.
Yeah,
I mean, he
yeah,
Braun.
does.
He exists with a no trade clause, whether it's in
Shit,
writing
hey,
or not.
boy, I would have been breaking news.
Well, you don't have to trade him. He's a free agent. You don't have to sign him.
No, I think he opted into that.
He has a
bread.
player option, right?
Yeah, I think he
He
opted
didn't opt
into that
into it
$50
yet.
million. Not yet. He will.
Did Kyrie opt into his yet? Because today's the last day.
I don't
He
think
has
it's
till
been
today.
announced. I don't think it's
Yeah,
been
he has
announced.
till today.
All right, y'all. Trayvon Ray sent through a super chat and said, y'all forget the Bucks were down 2-0 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Giannis was scoring 30 efficiently while Jrue and Chris were shooting like toddlers, and Lopez was playing drop on Kevin fucking Durant. Golden State in 5 or 6.
So
I don't know about that last part, but yeah, that maybe I was subconsciously taxing the Bucks for the fact that I don't think they should have won the championship. Like, maybe that was a subconscious tax. I don't think they were the best team in the league in 21. I actually think they were better in 2020, but they ended up winning it. So maybe there was a subconscious tax there that I had to remove. But that Nets team should have beat them. But that Nets team, I think, would have been very high on this list. So,
Yo, y'all see the super chat from Rich Matic calling them the Lucers? Hey, shout out to the Los Angeles.
You and they ain't even close on the keyboard, so you can't even say that was a typing.
No,
he did that.
Shout out to good old Lucas. We got 2 new members. Tyreek Frankson became a member, and I Am Your God 76 also became a
shout out to my
member.
God, man. Praise you.
I don't like that.
Me either.
Think Jones sent through a members chat and said Denver clears.
Ben Arlene. Shout out to them Finney boys.
Oh, you got the Jamal Murray over AD.
Vale, a Hall of Famer, y'all know the face, y'all know the name. Vale, I hope to see you up here on Friday. Vale said, if Team A beats Team B and Team C beats Team A, but Team B beats Team C, who's the best team? This is why matchups and performances against the field matters.
Yeah, that's why.
We've been trying to figure this out.
Yeah. I don't think there's an exact science to it. Yeah. This is why I say objectivity doesn't exist in these conversations. And it annoys me when people try to act as if it does. There's no objective answer here. It's all subjective. It's all based on what you value. There's no right or, well, there is a wrong answer. If you try to tell me the Jazz are better than the Celtics or some shit, then yeah, okay, that's wrong. But for the most part, like, there's no objective answer. It's all how you value it and whatever the case may be. I don't think there's a science to this where you can just, you do this, you get the answer.
I just Mars, and that goes back to, I forgot who we was up here with. I think that might have been a guest when we were talking about it. Like, basketball and reality do not go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? It's just not how it works.
Sports
basketball
in general,
is complete. Sports in general. I'm sure. Basketball is, is what I know most. And I just know, like, it's just not the same world. Like, you can't expect it to be the same. You can't just talk about basketball in complete reality. Some shit just don't make sense, and I don't know how to explain it.
Napping Trey said, I remember hearing on this show that you can't get anything good for an old Jrue Holiday.
Tried to tell you.
I mean, I'm not as high on Anfernee Simons as I guess you guys are, but I do think it was a good deal for Boston. But yeah.
Where you at, Will said, I would love to see Dwight and JaVale guard the 3.
You talking about the 3-point shot or
the
small
3-point shot? I'm assuming
at the long ball.
The 3-point shot existed in 2020.
100% it did. Joker was shooting threes. Joker was shooting threes in 2020.
But it was a Disneyland where you couldn't get embarrassed.
Jordan is wild as hell. Yeah,
that's the thing.
King Bo, Ox's main man. Shout out Bo. King Bo said, what are y'all thoughts on OKC possibly trading into the top 10 of this draft? Because it's being rumored they are targeting Ace Bailey or Con Knipple.
Ace Bailey would be a big swing for them in terms of betting on their development. But if he did hit, like if he went to OKC and he pans out,
God,
all of a sudden they look like the biggest geniuses of all time.
I mean, but if anybody really got time to draft somebody and play around with him, I mean,
but based on everything that Ace Bailey's camp seems to be putting in the air, that man ain't trying to not play right away. I've seen his desired teams. I've seen his desired teams with what, the Pelicans, Nets, and Wizards or something.
Yeah,
like he trying to play. And I like you 19, like you want to come in the league and play. I understand that, but like,
which I love.
Okay, C is not exactly.
But don't you want to go? Don't you want to get better?
Well, this. Well, wait a minute.
No, yeah, right.
He think you're good enough already.
You get better through experience, right?
Yes,
You
and
need to play to get better.
we've seen players that are on bad
man,
teams.
no.
They build it and they get better. We've seen that. I don't think that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but
I
that's
think
not-
he has
that's
a lot
not-
of
that-
bad
that
habits,
can't
but going
work
to
that
a
way.
bad team doesn't exactly help. But
I think Jordy Fernandez. I think Jordy Fernandez is one of the better young coaches in the game who I didn't know much about, and I think that he could help Ace Bailey, 100%.
Ron, that jumper broke his
That
head.
shit
Don't
is-
look
that was a
nothing
brick.
Don't look nothing like
Man,
one.
Ron, get off the peel
Bro,
with that
I'm
broke
off
shit.
it. It's in the trash can.
Get off the
I
peel.
hit
No,
that.
I don't mean
Mars-
shoot.
turn your camera
Basketball.
around. Turn your camera around. Turn your camera around right now.
Basketball.
Show it.
It's other
Pass
things
the
over there I
ball,
can't
Ron.
show
Throw it in the
y'all.
wastebasket.
I
Ron,
can't
pass the
show
peel.
y'all what's over there.
Get
But
off the peel, Ron.
what I can
Gotcha.
say is
Ron,
Mars
get off the
went
peel.
1 for 5
But
last
wait.
week, and y'all ain't say nothing to him. I'm
What?
1 for
Mars
1.
ain't-
what I do?
Anyway,
No,
because
you
he
weren't.
trying to be you shooting the water bottle into the wastebasket, knowing he missed. But Ron, my thing about the whole Ace Bailey thing is just like if you getting experience doing a whole lot of bad shit, you're not really getting better. It's like they said, what did they say about practice make perfect? Like no perfect practice makes perfect or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like
Practice
why
don't make
wouldn't you
perfect.
go to
Practice makes
excellence.
permanence.
Don't practice perfection, practice excellence. And all they practice
right? One of them, something like that. So you know what they say.
I do.
Yeah. So my thing is just like, why would I not want to go to OKC where I know that they got they're developing players over there, and I got a chance to get better and play on a good positions where I don't have to produce today. I can get better at my craft and then come into the game. You know what I'm saying? So
that might be why he don't want to go to the Sixers though. And I'm not mad at him. Like, yeah, Tyrese Maxey's panned out. Joel Embiid, for better or worse, through the ups and downs, he's panned out. But they done wrecked a lot of people. Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, Jahlil Okafor. We could go down the whole list. Michael Carter Williams. You know, it's
The big kid from Kentucky.
Nerlens.
Yep.
New Orleans, yeah. Man, he played himself though. So he should.
No, that was a money thing. I'm just talking about his game. I ain't talking.
His offensive game.
Right.
Where you at, Will said, what I tell Big Ox yesterday. In Brad, we trust. This is just the beginning.
That was yesterday.
I don't know why he was pressing me about it though. I was just trying to figure out what they was going to do. I don't doubt the second best franchise in basketball.
Realist 123 said you can say Jrue Holiday protected guys on the Celtics. Adding a negative defender could make Derek White and Jaylen Brown's defense worse. Also, he's injury prone.
These are my Anfernee Simons.
Yeah.
He was relatively healthy this year. But yeah, he's so bad on defense.
Joe Agumbode said, just saw a clip of Ron saying Hallie is better than Cade from round 1. Hold him accountable. Love you, though. Dub host. 2, Jrue to the Lakers. How do they look?
Oh, no, it depends what they give up. You did say that.
What, the Hallie's better than Cade?
But I think you said it again.
It was during the Detroit series. Like Cade.
He said it again like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. He did the best point guards in the league.
Brunson.
No, I had Hallie back above Cade.
Oh,
I had Hallie at 5.
then. Yeah,
I had
you're 4.
Cade at
Did
6.
we have Cade ahead of?
No, I had Cade at
You had-
7.
You had someone above Brunson. Yeah,
Cade.
Brunson.
Yeah, Cade ahead of Brunson.
No. I flipped him back. I got Brunson at 6. I got Cade at 7. But y'all gotta understand what was going on that time. Like Cade was going crazy. Cade was about to leave Detroit. The Detroit Pistons past the Knicks. He was going crazy.
No, he wasn't.
Was he about to do that, Ox? Was he about to do that?
No,
we didn't know that
No,
in
he
game
wasn't.
4. We did not know.
No, he wasn't.
What you mean? No, he wasn't.
He didn't, Ron. He didn't. He literally
He
didn't.
did it, but he was
But
going off.
I just want to speak on the second part of that super chat real quick, Ron, about Jrue to the Lakers. Like Portland, they helped out Boston, by and got what they needed, of course. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like, oh, we'll do you a favor.
They just got him
right?
back. They just got him back.
Yeah, but so they did that. The Portland Trailblazers franchise and fan base would never sign off on helping the Lakers get Jrue Holiday. If the Portland Trailblazers send Jrue Holiday to the Los Angeles Lakers, the city of Portland will riot.
Damn.
Like they hate the Lakers like we hate the Lakers.
So which means DeAndre Ayton, you ain't going to the Lakers neither. Trailblazers people ain't having it.
No, Portland hates the Lakers just like Shaq hates the Lakers. It's bad. We're not helping y'all.
We got a super chat from Psycho. Psycho said a healthy 2021 Nets team beats all the last 7 champions.
That's a psycho response, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I think they're better
what
than
is
some of
that?
those teams on the list. I'll say that.
The Nets
He
beat
said a
all
healthy
the 7
Nets
champions.
team beats all 7 of those teams.
I think they're better than some of the
Screening
teams on that
is-
list. That's all I know. Well, that's all I think. They're better than some of those teams.
Oh, healthy 21.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Nets with Irv
Okay.
and
I see what
KD.
you're saying. Okay.
Mhm.
I think a healthy 21 Clippers beat some of those teams too.
Including the Nets.
Jalmar Skeets Nilsson sent through a super chat and said MJ stocks are grossly overrated. Grossly overrated his defense because of how many chances he took on defense. Talk about MJ's overrated ass defense.
Shit, he cooking a little bit. He cooking a little bit. He cooking. I mean,
I do think.
No,
his
wait.
defense
I'm not saying Jordan wasn't a great defender, but I do think the stop when you got Ron Harper and Scottie Pippen 6'8", 6'9", flying around, arms, trapping, and dudes are throwing balls, out the way, and Jordan gets to cheat the lane and be at the casino gambling on the court.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gambling. That's what he loves to do. He's just taking super chances because he had all these players behind him to save him. It's like Shea on OKC, except for a much better defender than Shea. You know what I'm saying?
Nope, I don't know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Well, that's a part of basketball, Jordan. We all know that. We all know for a fact that a lot of times the third and fourth best defender on the court is actually getting a lot of the steals because the better defenders are the ones that's creating a lot of the ball pressure, trapping the ball handler, you know what I'm saying, making things difficult. All you got to do is just go chase the ball. When the ball's in the air, go get it. You know what I'm saying? Intercept the pass. We all been there.
Sounds like Lou Dort, Taysom Wallace, Caruso, and J-Dub all in a nutshell. But hey.
Thank you,
We
Scottie
are where we
Pippen.
are. Dustin Smith became a YouTube member. Shout out to Dusty Smith. I am your God 76 has something to say to you in the Bass Pro Shop hat. I'm your God 76 said, Jordan, do your research when you're trying to hate. It wasn't a Disneyland championship. It was a Disney World championship, fool. Big difference. Capisce?
Where's the fool at?
Yeah, you better listen to your goals. 76.
Well, where's the fool at?
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad.
I mean, I guess Disneyland, Disney World, Vampire Land, Fantasyland. That's all that shit was. That's all that was. That shit was Fantasyland. Them motherfuckers gave out.
Them
motherfuckers gave out. Them motherfuckers gave out ring pops for their damn rings. That's what they did. Gave them a ring pop. It was at the podium on the ring pop.
Used to go crazy back in the day.
I ain't gonna lie. I never paused. I never took the time to actually. I ain't even
Have a ring pop. Have a ring pop.
Just bite it off the ring.
I bit
never
that
had
joint
one?
as soon as. Nah, I bit that joint as soon as I got it. You gotta be crazy. You think I'm finna be doing this all day?
Jordan.
Man, crazy
Jordan.
motherfucker.
You
was do that again. Put him on the big screen, Ron. Do that again.
but hold on, Jordan.
5. Come on,
baby. Come on, Baby's kids ass ring. Ain't no fucking way I'm doing that shit. That's straight on Baby's kids.
Baby's kids for sure. Jordan, but you was just the other day on Twitter reposting old boy that got the jewel encrusted sucker.
No, I would.
Oh, you didn't repost that and say that you might cop one?
No,
we at, Ron?
Me,
we almost done, Ron. Come on, Ron. Finish line right here.
That was
finish
definitely
line right here.
My bad,
That
bro.
was definitely not me. That's crazy. That's crazy as hell. That was definitely.
Well, we got to go check the timeline. That's only one way to tell.
No,
but Gemini Joso sent through a super chat and said, y'all might not have time, but how would y'all rank the 7 losers of these finals? We might have to get into this. Might have to do that. We're not going to be able to do it right now. He's right, but
the worst teams.
So the 19 Warriors is one, though, right?
The best team?
Oh,
yeah, 19 Warriors.
Well, assuming health. Yeah, I guess. But
Super
The
healthy,
team
the
that
best
the
team in
team
this whole
yeah,
league.
the team that actually played on the court, the Alfonso McKinney, Jordan Bell Warriors, they kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We got one final super chat from Where You At Will. Where You At Will said, so we forgot about Brown's defense. He would have locked Rondo and Lowry. Get the fuck out of here.
Wouldn't Jaylen Brown have been guarding Brown?
Yes,
Been
he
getting
would
his
have to
ass
deal
toe
with
up.
Would he not have been guarding Kawhi?
And why
He
does he
get
have
his
to
ass toe up
why
by
does he have to
Kawhi.
lock up Rondo? I mean, Rondo have make some big plays in big games, but it ain't like you gotta lock him up. Like the fuck? Like his big
You
game is
can't lock
8
him up.
points. His big game is
You
8
can't-
points
you
and
can't lock
7
him up.
assists. Like yeah, you
Rondo
can't lock him
came
up.
in. Rondo come in, make a couple threes, get that ball to AD right where he
Yeah,
wanted
he
them
did.
entry
He
passes.
did. But but you don't gotta lock him up. Like you can't lock that shit up. Like that shit is inevitable. Like it is what it is.
Oh, Jordan, they're saying you're exposed in the chat. They're saying you did repost that at Playboy Cardi.
You capping. I didn't post nothing about no
Damn.
Playboy Cardi.
As you were
All
saying,
right,
Ron.
chill.
What did I repost about Playboy Cardi?
You know what
First
you
of all-
did? You know what you did?
No.
Chat.
First of all, I always say Playboy Cardi, as soon as I hear a song from him making all that noise, that shit sound demonic. I'll cut that shit off. You crazy as hell. I ain't
All right,
reposting
Ron, I'm
What
out.
that got to do about his ring pop that you
I'll see you
reposted?
tomorrow, Ron.
I
All
didn't
right,
repost
cheers.
no ring pop. That's crazy.
All right.
I don't know what they talking about.
Fellas, y'all might have to get up out of here, but chat, me and you, we have some things that we have to talk about. And this is regarding the chat awards on Friday, because you know it ain't no panel without the chat. Now, chat, we need some good participation from you guys, and we need honest participation from you guys for these chat awards. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put these on the screen. But before I do this, you guys have a say in who wins all of these awards. So what I need you guys to do is go through each of these categories and let me know who you believe should be the winner. We're going to run through all of these, and I need you guys' participation. But also, if you aren't watching live, comment after the show and let me know who you guys got for each of these awards after the show. But as of right now, live and in full effect, I need you guys to let me know who you rocking with for these awards. So the first one that we are going to go with is the biggest yapper. Chat, talk to me, spam the chat. Who do you guys have as the biggest yapper on the panel? Now, biggest yapper, this is a quick little description. It is the panelist who just doesn't know when to shut the fuck up, basically.
I got a feeling somebody gonna be nominated. But I won't say who. It's for the
Why
chat.
are they saying Pat?
The biggest yapper. Spam the chat. Let me know who you guys got as the biggest yapper. And even
And
after the show,
The
comment
biggest
and talk to me.
the biggest yapper, it just ironic. It rhymes with yapper and diaper.
The biggest yapper dapper do.
Yapper dabba doo.
All right, y'all. Next up, we have the worst take of the year. This might take you guys a little bit of time just to dig up who's the worst take, but you can still drop it now in the chat.
No, I ain't in there.
If it takes you to think about it, comment on it after the show. But who gave the worst take this year? Chat, talk to me.
There's so many.
Yeah,
I know I'm not in there because all my takes come true over time.
Hey, Sacred.
And it's designed like that.
Mr. Kawhi and Dwayne Wade weren't dominant. Yeah.
Sacred and
Yeah,
Mo, bozos,
It's what it
you
is.
got to tell us what the take is. You can't say who's the worst take. Well, damn, that's actually fucked up saying that somebody's the worst take. Who gave the worst take? Not who is the worst take.
Peak Kawhi over peak Shaq.
So, chat, that's what I said. It might take a little bit of time for you to think of who gave the worst take, but think about it and let us know. Throw out some nominees. There you go. We got one right here.
That was a solid take, though. Weber over Jokic, I don't think that should even be in there.
John
that might be
Stockton. John Stockton will be the third best player in the league today.
Sacred.
I got
Once
good
again,
reason.
you bozo, you can't say Ox and Ron, or you guys can't say Chill or Pin. What's the worst take? Not who's the worst take. What's the worst take? Bass Pro Hat just did one about the Bubba Chip.
Hey,
All right,
that
y'all.
hat got a name, and it's
Where-
called the Drench Man, not the French Man.
Mm.
Respect me.
All right, we're moving on to the guest of the year. Who do you guys have as the best guest of the year? Who came through and held it down during their episode? come and talk to me. Leave it in the chat or talk to us in the live chat or post episode. Who's the guest of the year? We got some good ones. That's a good one right there. Riga, that was a good one. Trey. Nerd Sesh, always Dub. I would ask the question, but we don't really got time right now. Austin Day. Hey, Austin Day was a good one.
Austin Day was good.
Why nobody
Austin
said,
Day
why
seemed
nobody-
like
Why nobody said GJK? Who's that?
Go, James.
That's who I got personally.
Blue shirt. Yeah, blue shirt.
Yeah, hey,
that's blue shirt. Yeah, blue shirt.
He came on. He cooked Jordan and Penn in separate episodes. So hey, got to give it up to him.
Austin Day was really dope because it seemed like he just kind of just seamlessly fit into the flow. You know what I'm saying? He was, you could tell Austin just like to talk hoop.
Hey, look, my vote is Dion from Ohio or the Exposer. Y'all could go with whoever y'all want to go with. That's who I got. But either way it goes, guest of the year, y'all let us know. Comment after the show. Keep going in the live chat on who you think it is. We got the Iron Man chat member. Chat, this is where we really need you guys' help. Now, the Iron Man chat member is the person who just really shows up the most, who's the most consistent, who we can find in any chat on any panel episode, who's commented for the full duration of the episode. We'll find them on Playback. We'll see them in the comments on social media. They will pull up anytime, anywhere. It's something that is panel or PC related. Who y'all got? Let's see who's some names. Arch, Mo said me. That's he. Frank, I'm not mad at Frank. Who else we got? Got another Mo. Duke, he sits on his computer all day. Damn, Duke, did he? Duke Mo or DSG?
Duke is a good one. I like Duke, Frank. It's a lot of chat, man. What's up, man? You know what, Ron? We just need to have we can pick out individual chat members. That's cool. But as far as just the chat go, but we got
first team all chat.
I'm just saying I think we got the best chat as far as like shows go, though. You know what I'm saying? As far as these type of shows go, our chat clears all chats.
Yeah, because not a lot of shows actually acknowledge their chat too, by the way.
That should be weird. I don't be understanding that. People are like, we don't talk to the chat. Like, why? What are you talking about? What are you here for?
I'll be watching like certain streams sometimes. Not that I watch streams because I really don't, but I watch it sometimes. And it'd be like so many chats that nobody acknowledge. And I'm like, what the fuck is y'all? What's the point of that?
Jordan, you know what that is, right? That's just narcissistic people that just want to hear themselves talk. They're not here to have a conversation or just like talk ball. They just want to hear themselves talk. They're just happy that they got a mic in front of them and they get to just say words. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but my thing is, what does the chat get out?
I'm here to interact with people.
Out of that? What's the chat get out of that? Just talking and nobody say nothing about what they just said?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't think I could be a member. I don't think I could be a chat member of that community.
Yeah, like
I'm here. Acknowledge me. They can talk back.
Mike the champ. Oh, I might have to go with Mike because not only is he Iron Man in the chat, he wasn't scared to get on the PCL like all you other goofies in the chat.
Now, hey Ron, you know whose name
he
has
was
been
scared
brought
to get on the PCL. We don't really know if that was really him, Brian. To be honest with you,
we
don't know if it wasn't.
Who hasn't been brought up is Alan though. Alan is a GOAT member of the chat. He's been around for a long time too, and he kept coming in the back even after I kept taking his lunch money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I have removed Alan L from the contention of this.
Why? Because he was supporting.
So I can vote on him, but the votes don't count.
Because he was supporting TJ? That's crazy.
No, because it's L. Allen L. That's why.
Dub Allen L.
But also we have panelists of the year. The panelists of the year is the panelists who basically got busy the most this year. Essentially, who had the best takes all year? Who was the most entertaining? Who showed up? Who showed up and showed out?
Somebody said me. I would agree.
Y'all go ahead and show out in the chat. Let us know who you guys
Not
got.
being biased,
I see some Oxes. I see some Marses. Jordan did get one. He got one. Panelists of the year.
I would say that's me for that one too. I'm not being biased, but if I had to think about it, I probably would be me. Would agree to that.
Jordan, you on your Draymond Green? I love that.
Yeah, I'm good paying. I'm campaigning.
I'm about to get on mine too. I'm about to start campaigning like Teddy Roosevelt.
You know, here's what it is.
Yo, this is crazy. All right, next up, we have beef of the year. Personally, this is gonna be my favorite award. I'm probably gonna save it for last. But beef of the year, we got it could be between two panelists, it could be between two members in the chat, or it can obviously be between a panelist and a member in the chat. Let's see. Buddy versus Mo. Chill versus just the whole chat. That is fire. Pen and Gifted. Buddy and Chill, obviously, we know that one is, you know. Vision Gang versus
we already know what this one's gonna be.
Okay.
Well, why would y'all do that?
Versus Gifted.
Why would y'all do that, bro?
Swiper versus Cowboy. We got another just Chill versus chat. Penn versus the world. That's a good one.
It's not Penn. It's the Puma hat. I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not Penn. Penn is a good guy. That Puma hat got the. It's like the ring from Lord of the Rings, yo. It's like the Horcrux from Harry Potter, yo. It's talking to him.
Penn versus Gifted was comedy. Yeah, we're getting a lot of good ones. Penn versus Real Talk. The Zesties.
Hell no. Ron, that shit is crazy, bro.
Mars versus Silence. Yo. Penn versus Accountability. All right, man. All right, let's go ahead and move on. That's hilarious. Ron versus Superchats. I got a little bit of action. I got a little
Mars
bit of
versus who? Mars versus
Silence.
Me and Silence are teammates. We're not going against each other.
Who the hell is Silence? Is that a person or is this a troll?
Silence.
Nigga like quiet.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought people be having weird ass names now. They be like,
after you said it though. After you said it, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, like bro, people be having weird ass names.
Yeah.
Yo, this is heat. All right, y'all. Next we got the chat MVP.
Ron versus wine coolers.
Some wine coolers don't stand a chance. We got chat MVP, y'all. Who is the GOAT of the chat? So we got the Iron Man chat, the person who basically is the most consistent. And then we got the chat MVP, basically who just holds shit down the most. Who's the best chat?
I don't know. Frank on a run. Frank on a serious run right now. Like Frank done came on strong these last probably 4 or 5 months, y'all. I'm telling you, Frank might Oxford's white woman. What? Jeremy? Relax, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, Vale said Arch and Cheese. This is a battle between them. H-Town said Arch. DSG said Mike the Champ. Shout out Mike the Champ.
Arch does come through with the super chats, but Arch disappeared for a minute there. How Braun got out of MVP talks. Man,
I'm not mad at Drink More Water. Cheese in here.
Drink More Water definitely in there. Hey, Mars, whatever happened to Jimmy Two Shoes?
Y'all ran him out?
God, Jimmy Two Shoes?
Y'all ran Jimmy Two Shoes away?
It's been a minute.
He be over there with y'all favorite man. What's his name? Oh, Dookie. Yeah,
I've been hearing from Terry with two dads from time to time. Shout out to Terry with two dads.
Huh. That's what's up. Yeah, Teddy Hart. Is Teddy Hart still a Hall of Famer? Cheese do be coming through. That's a fact.
Shout out to Cheese.
As of right now, I got Arch, Cheese, and I would say Drink More Water because Drink More Water be consistent as hell.
Drink More Water been here for years.
Drink More Water Drink More Water been here for a long time. Yeah, and James B. Ron, you ran my man James B up out of here, Ron.
As much as
James B was cool, bro. James B was cool.
I got on James B.
I like it when you can go
I like we can go back and forth with the guys in the chat, and they're good about it. They don't take it too personally. You know what I'm saying, right? You took it too far with James.
Yeah, that's why I can talk shit to L. Allen L. I know it's all good. I see him in the group chat. This group chat that none of you guys are in. Well, a lot of you guys are in it, but most of you guys aren't. Hey, me and Allen L will go back and forth in this group chat all day. And they get on the panel, talk shit to him on the panel, and it's all good.
Hold on. What about Tay?
Well,
Y'all
Otis?
sleeping on Tay. Tay be here.
Yeah, snoring.
Shout out, Otis.
In a
oh,
coma.
Rob, that Mars.
In a coma.
Oh, that's not cool, Mars.
All right, y'all. Well, make sure you comment and let us know who you think
Brax
is.
Brax the Bandit.
Brax do got some weight in the chat, but Brax kind of fell off in the last since he lost in the PCL. Brax fell before that. Brax was on his shit.
Who did Brax lose to again?
He got packed up by Hayes.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Remember he stopped debating and started crying. He started crying to the refs. He got in his Luka Doncic.
He did start crying.
That's right. Brax lost focus. He had Hayes on the ropes. He just lost focus and he started kind of like sounding unsure. I think if Brax would have turned up his confidence in that one, he probably could have beat Hayes. Shout out Hayes though.
If you get your ass out the bathroom on your bathroom break, you can have more motion in the chat. But you be in the bathroom tripping.
Up in here.
Get
playing
your
with
ass
yourself.
out the bathroom. God damn.
Man.
And wash your goddamn
You know what?
hands. Coming in there shaking everybody's
Brax,
hands.
Brax, you need to start leaving your phone outside the bathroom. Stop taking your phone to the bathroom, Brax. Pervert.
All right, y'all. Next, we got panel MVP. I know it is some confusion between panelists of the year. So panelists of the year essentially be who had the best run between this time last year, well, over just the whole course of the 2024 or 2025 NBA season. Who had the best run? Panel MVP is basically who's the most irreplaceable or least irreplaceable, if you will.
I'll take that one. I ain't tripping.
All right. Jordan gets my vote too. Jordan, it just really ain't the same when you're not here,
Yeah, I'll take that one. Especially on Fleece Fridays. I was traveling last Fleece Friday, so I'll be back for this Fleece Friday. Fleece Fridays, the best Fridays, big dog.
Yeah, nah. We don't want no more Fleece Fridays, bro.
Fleece Fridays, boy, shit get freaky.
All right, y'all. Keep
Cowboy,
spamming who you guys got for panel MVP. And then also, once again, if you get a chance after the show just to go through and leave a comment for all of these. So just for instance, you can say biggest yapper, I got this person. Worst take, I got this person. Beat for the year, I got this person. Chat MVP, I got this person. That would be really helpful, y'all. For real. Chat, we need you guys' participation for this. We need y'all to show up and show out. The chat awards is only settled by the chat. Next up, we got Rookie of the Year. Which panelist came through and was Rookie of the Year? The people that are in contention for this are Jordan, Swiper. Swiper doesn't think he's in contention, but Swiper's still a rookie. Jordan, Swiper, Penn, John D. Those are the 4 Rookies of the Year.
Oh, this is
real talk is
real talk too. My bad, real talk too. No. Real talk is he just slid in there for Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Next up, we got biggest crash out. I think this one is very easy, but once again, I can't say who it's gonna be. You guys got to talk to me and say who was the biggest crash out. It's really actually 2 or 3 people.
It's a couple of people that'll crash out at any time.
Any given moment. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be holding back my crash outs because I feel like I'm gonna need therapy after I crash out. Like if I crash the fuck out for real, like I'll be taking days to like look back on the crash outs and be like, damn, bro, I probably shouldn't have done that, but fuck it. Because once I do it, it's fuck it. But
So is this is between Chill and Penn right now? Is that what they're saying?
I mean, basically.
Because anything I'm talking about anything except Penn off, and he'll just turn the wheel straight off the cliff. Like fuck it, we're all going.
Really, like Chill had this in the bag.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just the fact that Penn over the last 2 months has been unplayable. Unplayable.
Oh, unplayable is crazy.
No, he's
Unplayable is
been
crazy.
unplayable.
You could say there's some days, Jordan. You could say anything to Penny. It set him off, bro.
It's like Penn really Rasheed Wallace or Draymond Green. It's like we know we're getting production out of you, but we also know at any given moment you can get thrown out of the game, and we know you're getting a T. Flagrant foul, technical, whatever. We know it's coming.
Oh, no.
And you might even leave the game without a technical, but we know you crashing out. And we know you tripping on the ref. We know you tripping on the teammate. We know you tripping on the coach. Chills just be funnier and more entertaining.
Fact. But the
So
thing about it is with
So
Chill.
what happened
Go ahead, bro.
in the other episode with the GJK? Because I seen people talking about it on Twitter, but I couldn't see it, and I just didn't go back to watch it. But
There's a lot to it, Jordan. It's a lot went into that. The thing is, like, the difference between Jordan and Penn is like, I mean, not Jordan and Penn. I'm sorry, Jordan. Chill and Penn, when they do that crash out, I think Chill more so just be addressing what's going on, and he kind of gets heated. Where I think Penn really be like wishing he was in front of the person. Like Penn really be wanting to throw down. Like, I just get the feeling like Penn just be ready to just throw it away. He don't give a shit.
Yo, H-Town 4-4.
Quiet. Oh, nigga, quiet.
That's not one of my proud moments, all right?
I saw that one when Ron said that shit.
I actually regret that, y'all. I shouldn't have did him like that.
Did you apologize for that, Ron? Did you apologize?
No, and I won't
When
apologize for it. I regret it, but I'm not apologetic about it.
You know what's crazy is when Ron said that shit, Chill wasn't even tripping. Ron said, "Quiet, old nigga," and then sent him to the back, and then in about 5 seconds, he brought him back up like he just didn't do that. And Chill was like, "All right, let's get this thing going."
What about what Chill said to Swiper? Your son of a bitch ass.
Yeah. That one caught me by surprise. But the funniest shit though is Swiper said, "Hey, no."
Oh, Marsh, that was hilarious.
Hey, no,
with
you know what you did.
50s, that was hilarious.
Yo, chat. This is also what I'm gonna need from you too. So we got to come up with just a panel highlight reel of the funniest moments from this year. Now we're not gonna do it until the end of the year. But I need you guys. We're gonna have to come up with a post, or we're gonna have to come up with a designated location for you guys to send through timestamps of all the funniest moments of the year. I'll get back to you guys next week. What?
Can it be like offline too? Because that shit with Swiper was funny as a motherfucker in that damn mall. Boy, I promise that. I just could not believe my eyes.
We might be able to add that in there.
Bro, that shit was funny as a motherfucker.
A lot of the people in the community have a lot of these already clipped up and ready to go. So they could probably just send them a lot of the clips straight to you.
Yeah, we gonna find a designated location for this, and we're gonna start collecting all the top clips from 2025. So at the end of the year, when we do our last episode of the year, we will go through and watch all of this. It's going to be comedy. I can't wait for that. But y'all, we got two more sections, and then we're gonna get up out of here. 2 more awards. The next one is the most obnoxious. This is the panelists who stayed getting on your goddamn nerves. It could be trolling. I don't know who would troll up here, but it could be trolling. It could be wild takes. Like, man, why the hell would you say Al Horford's better than this person? Or it could just be straight up, you're annoying in a motherfucker. Every time you talk, it just irks me. It makes me want to drive my car into a pole, or it makes me want to just beat the shit out of you.
What the fuck? No, nothing make me that mad.
Yeah, relax, bro. It's never that serious.
Mm. All right, y'all. While y'all commenting, we got one final award that will be dished out on Friday. And this award happens to be, personally, aside from Beef of the Year, this is my favorite. And this is what the chat awards are made for. This is why we do this. And this is why the panel is what it is. The Goofy of the Year award. Chat. Which one of y'all is the Goofy of the Year? Now, some people may see this as a bad thing. Some people may see this as a good thing. But if you are the Goofy of the Year, you're just the Goofy of the Year. I don't really have to describe it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who it is, and y'all know what it is.
I mean, isn't that where this term originated from? When Chill was going bad on him and said, "You goofy?
You goofy."
We know who.
Yo, goofy ass. Chill be like, yo, hey, one booty. Yo, goofy ass you could never see me one booty. That's Chill. Yo, goofy ass on that pipe. What Chill be saying?
Chill
You be
gonna
on
win
that
a- Chill,
diesel.
Chill gonna win a lot of awards.
He be, hey, one booty. You couldn't touch me back in my day. You couldn't touch me. You be on that diesel.
Dalai Lama.
Mike the Champ.
Hey, shout out my man Dalai Lama too. That's his alias, but
Hey.
shout out to him for coming up here and doing what you did in the PCL.
Hey man, Mike definitely deserves a bid for this one too.
Bro, we don't know if that was really Mike. I don't know why y'all keep saying that. We don't know who the hell that was.
You saying Ron ain't do his due diligence?
No, nobody checked him out in the back. This man had a black screen. We don't know what the hell. That's almost worse than the dude that Mars was battling. Mars was fading his ass to black. Each word he said, he was melting away with the lights. I'm like, who the hell?
Oh
is Mars
yeah, who was
battling?
that again?
I don't know. Somebody fade the black nickname.
I can't remember his name.
Mars beat the black.
Matthew
off.
Elliott. Matthew Elliott. That's his name. Matthew Elliott.
Matthew Elliott. That's right,
Yeah.
Matthew.
I'm not
No,
gonna
no,
disrespect
I had.
Matthew.
Oh no, I had Matty Ice. I had Matty Ice.
Yeah, Matthew Elliott. That was his name.
Whatever.
Out of pocket,
Hey,
Lord.
is Matty can be for guest of the year too, right, Ron?
Yeah, he's not gonna win. So I mean,
Matty-
I guess.
Anybody?
Oh, you can't even be in conversation, Ron.
Yeah,
That's
I guess.
crazy. We can
No,
have
I
the
guess,
conversation.
We can definitely have the conversation, you know.
Yeah, I guess every rookie who played is technically eligible for Rookie of the Year. But, I mean,
Hey, but Mars, if he gets 2 votes, he was damn near Rookie of the Year.
damn near facts.
Oh, damn, we should have had slogan of the year, or term of the year. Don't worry, we'll do that. at the-
Nerdify clears. Nerdify clears.
Hey, our Christmas episode, we'll do that. You know, we'll
Yeah,
go
that
through
shit
the top 10 terms of the year. We'll go through the best clips of the year, best debate of the year, all of that good stuff, you know. But as of right now, these are the chat awards for right now. So once again, y'all comment after the episode and let me know in each of these categories who you believe should win all of them. In the meantime, in between time chat, it's been amazing. I hope all of y'all have a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will be doing a mock draft. Mars. So, y'all be ready to hear Mars's whole first round mock-up. It's going to be an amazing it's going to be an amazing time, y'all. Hey, but for real, we're really doing a mock draft tomorrow. So, y'all pull up. It's going to be fun. We'll see y'all then.
Merry Christmas.
Exercise your right to vote, y'all. Exercise your right to vote.
How about y'all exercise y'all fat asses? Get off that